I got your back.
There's no lock on my end. You gotta use that terminal by the door.
Now, you mentioned something about tracking down a murderer and how he took your baby.
I'll head for home, then.
Good luck. You gonna say something? Could really use your weigh-in about now. Sorry. I understand this is a lot. I'm not going anywhere until I get what I came for.
You killed my fiancée, Jennifer Lands. There's some crimes even you can't get away with, Winter.
We're done here. But there's one more thing I've got to do. I wouldn't mind the company if you wanted to tag along.
The name's Valentine. Nick Valentine. Remember me?
Then I guess I'm in good company. They both vanished a while back, if I'm remembering right. But that house is still there.
Damn it, drop the doom and gloom act. We can work through this.
What about dog meat? A Commonwealth mutt like him can track a scent for miles. If you need me, just come knocking. If not, then the next time I see you, I hope it's with your son, safe and sound.
Say, that's not a bad idea. Some dogs out there in the Commonwealth can track a man for miles. Well, dog meat seems eager for the job. Why don't you let him have a whiff, see if he picks up on the trail?
Why don't you go fetch him and let him have a whiff, see if he picks up the trail?
Hopefully not forever. I want to see you and your kids safe and sound when you get back.
Good luck. Anytime you need help, just come knocking.
Let's take a look around. Kellogg must have left something behind.
What about dog meat? Commonwealth mutt like him can track a man's scent for miles.
All right. Now let's get that bastard. This is your show from here on out, okay? You say jump, I'll say how high. This place is pretty empty. Keep an eye out for the smallest detail.
Keep looking. Gotta be something here.
If Kellogg's smart, he wouldn't just leave something out in the open. Check every crevice. It's Synth Detective, jackass. If you're gonna be that way, you might as well get the make and model right.
Joking aside, but what about dog meat? Commonwealth mutt like him can track a man's scent for miles.
Good find. Not gonna lead us anywhere on its own, though.
Interesting brand. Won't lead us anywhere on its own, though.
If you have to face Kellogg on your own, just say so. Before you head out, I know this is personal business. If you have to face Kellogg on your own, just say so. If Kellogg really is the one who kidnapped your son, then he's dangerous. But so are you. You don't need to be afraid of him or anything else the Commonwealth throws at you.
A literal dead end, huh?
That's what I thought. He's dead. No, I skipped that part of the orientation film while they were busy pulling me apart and putting me back together again. Look, the sad thing is, I have no idea. Yeah, from what I've heard, the pastrami golem is the one you really have to watch out for. Anyway, if you're done being a wise ass, you know, there's another chunk of Nick Valentine history I've been hoping to put a bow on for a while now. I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it. Once upon a time, in the land of Boston, there lived a king of organized crime, Eddie Winter. He was a bad man who did a lot of bad things, hurt a lot of innocent people. But he knew the end was coming, so he sealed himself inside a personal shelter, located underneath a sub-shop he used as a headquarters. Fine, but I hope you change your mind. This Eddie Winter, he was barely human back then. God knows what he is now. Oh, I'm saying it all right. Now, I know where Winter's vault is, but the door is sealed with a complex numerical code. Lucky for us, Winter's arrogance knew no bounds. Back in the day, he recorded 10 holotapes, incriminating different criminal associates. On each one, he hit a single number. We find all of those holotapes, we get all the numbers. We get all the numbers, we get the code. And then we get Winter. I've been putting together a file on this one for a while now. There's a pair of holotapes in here worth listening to. The story gets even more twisted. The arrogant bastard wanted to cheat death, live forever.
so he could come out of that shelter someday into this brave new world. Sound familiar? Only Eddie didn't want to be a frozen banana. No cryo-sleep for him, no. He invested his money in some sick, crazy radiation experiment. Eddie Winter went and turned himself into a ghoul, 200 years before it was fashionable. Hell, he was probably the first one. And I'm convinced that he's still locked inside that shelter, safe and sound, ready to come out and begin his evil reign all over again. I'm going to find him and kill him, so that never happens. You in? Who says it ain't? But I don't have to be human to know that sometimes the only way to end evil is to kill it. That's right. Get over yourself. It ain't always about you. Now, listen to the important part. You're a good man. Good. I have. And I uncovered a doozy. I've got memories of a girl. My girl. They're not my real memories, I know that. But the girl, she was real. She was beautiful and innocent, and Winter killed her. Now he's got to pay the price. So, knowing that, you in? It's nothing. Just something I need to take care of. Justice has to be served. Now, you in or not? Will do. Yeah, big difference between an infant and a 10-year-old, but that doesn't mean we're on the wrong track. He could have a son of his own. Or maybe he's turned kidnapping into a bad habit. In any event, they both vanished a while back. No trace. Don't jump the gun on me. You said you were looking for an infant, remember? That's over 9 years difference by my count. Look, maybe he has a son of his own. Maybe it's someone else's kid. Either way, they both vanished a while back. Yeah, either that or he's got a son of his own. Not a comforting thought in any case. Both of them vanished a while ago. Haven't been heard or seen since. I'm on it, Captain. Yep, I've got it. No problem. I'll get it done. We better get out of here, fast. Oh, now, that's not necessary. I'm just glad everything turned out all right for Hank. Give him my best, will you? I'm never getting a cap from that man, am I? I'm never getting a cap from that woman, am I? Would be nice, the two of us getting out there again. Sure, could be fun. That's up to you. Things gonna go better this time around? Hi there. Have we met? I guess this place seems secure. Now that's not... Oh, I'm so sorry. I warned you. What you've done, killing these people, it's inexcusable, and I won't be party to it anymore. So you and me, we're done. How's it going? I'll keep out of trouble if he does. Huh. Seems I forgot my trunks. Anybody still in there? Giving me the silent treatment, huh? Nothing to say on the subject? What? Did I say something? Don't let me bother you. Not much for conversation today, are you? Would love to know your thoughts on the matter. Hey, you mind keeping an eye out for a sec? I gotta run a diagnostic. Whew. Thanks. What'd I miss? Can still imagine the students running down the halls. You doing all right out here? I think I just heard my rad counter cry for mercy. Think that's out of reach. I don't think I can get there. Can't get to it, if synths could fly. I get the sense whoever named this place didn't have a firm grasp on the meaning of the word sea. This place looks like someone extinguished hell. Your call. You change your mind, though, you come find me. I'll be at home. Sure, suppose I'll head on home then. Works for me. Maybe it'll give you some time to figure some things out. I'll be at home. About damn time. I'm not sure how much more of this I could witness. I'm going home. Number of parts I've had fail. Places like this are the only reason I'm still walking around at all. Your Pip-Boy doesn't sound pleased. What say we get out of here? Awful lot of rads around. We should get out of here. Got it. There we are. You do that a little too well. You know that whole business with Doc Amari and Kellogg's Memories? It got me thinking. It's just there's still some Nick Valentine history I've been wanting to put a bow on for a while now. I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it. If you need me to take a... Oh, you got it. That'll do it. Well, all right. Suit yourself. Sure. All right. Well, I love what they've done with the place. Life sure does take you to some interesting places. We should visit one of those.
That was him, the stranger. He was right here. Where'd he go? He was just here. You saw him, right? You! Stop! Damn, vanished. What the... The stranger. Slipped right through our fingers. Yeah, that's easy for you to say. You don't have someone else's life trapped in your skull. Heh, I suppose so. But having to juggle my memories and all Nick's baggage makes things tough sometimes. Everything. Old cases, old loves. I found myself running background on cases only to realize everyone involved's been dead for 200 years. You know, I'm just going to need some time to think on this. I appreciate you hearing me out. You're a real good friend. Thanks. You got a good point. Don't think I haven't tried. Lost near a month of my life last time I mustered up the courage to let someone play brain surgeon on me. No. This is how it's going to be. Living with another man's name, another man's life. Well, I suppose it's the thought that counts. Yeah, not a problem. Nice of you to say, but your kind don't usually have to deal with someone else's whole life trapped inside their skulls. For as long as I can remember, I've been getting these, flashes, memories of places I've never been, things I've never seen, memories of Nicks. They're not bad, they're just this inescapable reminder that I'm not the person I think I am, that I'm not a person at all. I'm just a machine, pretending to be human. Hey, you, got a sec? Any chance you got a second now? Don't get me wrong. I know I'm in Nick's debt. These memories, they've kept me alive. Nick was a hell of a cop. A guy with good instincts and a good heart. I always counted myself lucky they didn't load me up with some ex-con, or whatever type might volunteer to let folks tinker with their gray matter. But it's thanks to Nick that I pass for human. Why I get to live cushy in Diamond City, and every other synth is shot on sight. I know I got it good, but my entire life I owe to Nick. Everything that makes me who I am, my judgment, my speech, hell, even my name. They're his, and I can't do a damn thing about it, because without them, I'm nothing. A shell. All I want is a life where I have something I can call my own. That's easy for you to say. You're human. I'm not. I wouldn't normally bother you with this sort of thing, but, well, I know I can trust you at this point. See, my personality is all based on this pre-war cop fella by the name of Nick Valentine. Guy volunteered to get his brain scanned back before the war. No. Only on me, and I suppose that's sort of the issue. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. This is sick. Now I understand why people end up vegetarians. Come on, they don't deserve that. Don't let me spoil your meal. What are you... I've got memories of a girl. My girl. They're not really my memories, I know that. They're Nick's. But the girl, she was real. She was beautiful and innocent, and winter killed her. Now he's got to pay the price. So, knowing that, are you in? It's nothing. Just some old business of Nick's that needs taking care of. Justice has to be served. Now, are you in or not? You know, there is this chunk of Nick Valentine history I've been hoping to put a bow on for a while now. I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it.
Ellie? Ellie? Are you here? Huh. Guess she got tired of waiting. You'd be surprised how many secretaries I lose that way. That's right. I doubt Diamond City Security will do anything, but I'll forward our report on to them anyway. I wish I could say most cases end better, but, well, that's Diamond City for you. Anyway, you ought to go chat with Ellie. Collect your fee. We got a case on his disappearance. Vadim Bobrov over at the Dugout Inn didn't trust the official report. Hired us to get at the truth. So, did you find anything out? You keep that kind of talk up, I might just start thinking we're friends. And talk to Ellie. She's got the caps you earned for this one. So, the doctor did it, huh? Feels like there's a cliché in there somewhere. Well, you uncovered the truth, and that's what counts. No sense brooding over what else you could have done. It'll just keep you up at night. Ought to chat with Ellie. She's holding the caps for this one. You're better at this than I thought you'd be, and I already thought you'd be good. Ellie's holding the fee for this one. Ought to go talk to her. You ever figure out what happened to Earl Sterling? The doctor did it, huh? Feels like there's a cliché in there somewhere. Yeah, you know the way? Southwest a few blocks. My office is in the back alleys, with the neon heart sign out front. Look, I know you want your case solved as quickly as possible, but an investigation needs time. We can't risk overlooking the details. Meet me at Diamond City. Trust me, things will be easier once I know everything that happened. So, you ever figure out what happened to Earl Sterling? Might want to pick up Earl's key from Vadim Bobrov. He runs the Dugout Inn. Be sure to check every corner of Earl's house. You never know what kind of clues you'll find. Interesting receipt. Looks like it's from the Mega Surgery Center. Found some tracks of blood, eh? Well, we might as well see where they go. Sounds like the next stop in Earl's case is a dark, dank cellar. What's the worst that could happen? Here's what I've got. Take a look. Here's what I've got. I guess I'll head back home. Well, take care of yourself. Maybe we'll cross paths again. Get this show on the road. Back on the trail. Off to the races. There's something you need? Do something for you? I'll see what I can do. I'll stay put. Guess I'll settle in then. I'll wait for your signal. Not great. On the desk. About time Earl finally got his due. Dead. Made it all the way through Faneuil Hall, too. Went out like a champ. Not great. I do. Some loony scheme to make off with a statue of a grasshopper or something. Dead. Made it all the way through Faneuil Hall, too. Went out like a champ. You're welcome to page through it if you'd like. It's in the folder on the cabinet. What, when he quit? And Earl didn't exactly have the charisma to inspire any crimes of passion. So what's that leave us? Guess that's up to you to find out. So, what's your take on the case, Ellie? I guess we'll just have to see. Look, there's a place in Goodneighbor called the Memory Den. Relive the past moments in your mind as clear as the day they happened. If anyone could get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari, the mind behind the memories. Dogmeat's got the scent. Now we just gotta follow him to Kellogg. That dog's got one hell of a nose. He'll sniff Kellogg out. You really are one in a million. Thank God, this has turned out to be a real waste of my time. Really played me for the sucker, haven't you? Had you planned on making this trip a rampage from the start, or were you just inspired along the way? Someone like you could have done a lot of good for this place. So much for that. Folks like you ought to be locked up. As a start, makes my coolant boil just looking at you. Taking up with you. Talk about mistakes. I'm not mad at you, just disappointed. No, you know what? I am mad. And I just let you get away with murder. Where the Institute actually is. Or how to get in. I've been cooped up in here for weeks. Turns out the runaway daughter I came here to find wasn't kidnapped. She's Skinny Malone's new flame. And she's got a mean streak. Anyway, you got troubles, and I'm glad to help. But now ain't the time. Let's blow this joint. Then we'll talk. Told you, I'm a detective. Look, I know the skin and the metal parts ain't comforting, but it's not important right now. The only thing that matters is why you went to all this trouble to cut me loose. Well, I've done jobs with less. Somehow nice and simple never makes it onto the menu in my world. Gotta love the irony of the reverse damsel in distress scenario. Question is, why did our heroine risk life and limb for an old private eye? So you need a little angel of vengeance, huh? Well, I don't usually go after blood money, but I guess I can make an exception.
Now, you mentioned something about tracking down a murderer and how he took your son. Now, you mentioned something about a missing person. No trace of where they've gone.
Missing kid, huh? Well, you came to the right man, if not the right place.
Smells like there's more to this story.
You two stay out of trouble.
Okay, I called him. Let's wait outside.
That's right. A Commonwealth mutt like him can track a man's scent for miles. Show him the cigar. He'll pick up the trail. Worked with him a few times, but he only likes certain people. Got a feeling you'll get on, though. You'll meet soon enough. Gonna send out the signal. It's a special frequency, so you won't hear it. But he will. Hell of an animal. Doesn't really have an owner, but he's always ready to help out when he's needed. Go ahead. Let him sniff that cigar. See if he can find our man. Damn it, drop the doom and gloom act. We can work through this. I got it. There's someone I know. A tracker. I never know where he might be, but I can get him here. Now, let's give my pal a chance. I'll send out the signal. Now, you won't hear anything. It's a special frequency. But he'll be here. You ready to get to work, dog meat? Just consider getting me out of that vault a finder's fee. Give dog meat a whiff of that cigar. See if he picks up the trail. Guess it's time to call in a favor. I know a specialist. He's never in one place for long, but he'll show up if I ask. Well, unless you got a map to Kellogg in your pocket, this is the best we got. I'm going to send a signal to have my associate meet us here. You won't be able to hear it, but trust me, he'll know. Ah, there he is. Prompt as always. Your faith in me is really starting to become inspiring. Look, there's no hiding anything from that nose. Show him the cigar. He'll track Kellogg down. Yeah, let me think. There is someone I know. A specialist of a kind. Always goes his own way, but I can get him here. It's Synth Detective, jackass. If you're going to be that way, you might as well get the make and model right. Joking aside, I got an idea. I need to call someone in. A specialist. All right, I'll send out the signal. You're not going to hear it. The frequency is high, but he'll pick it up. Let's wait for my friend outside. Dog meat's here. Ready to get to work? You know, I've been thinking. What went down with Doc Amari and Kellogg's memories? I'm glad I did it, don't get me wrong. It's just made me realize that there's still some Nick Valentine business that I've been wanting to put a bow on for a while now. I was wondering if you'd be up for lending a hand. Hey, hold up a minute. Sure, it's waited this long. Well, come talk to me once you've tracked him down. Got it. 1-9-5-3-7-2-8-4-0-6. That old thug's holed up in Andrews Station. Now, let's go bring down Eddie Winter. Wow, that's some real solid detective work. They're older than dirt, but they've got Eddie's paw prints all over 'em. These are the real deal. And they've still got the code pieces in 'em. Let me run 'em through the old processor. Any chance you've rethought helping me close out some Nick Valentine history? Well, this one's straight out of the archives. So, you got something for me? Maybe a pocket full of tapes belonging to an old ghoul? Nothing here. Did you check out that desk? Place seems small to you? Figured a guy like Kellogg would think big. I'm telling you, something's not right. Look for anything out of sorts. A switch. A button. The only tune I want to hear right now is Eddie Winter recanting a life of villainy. That filthy toad's right on the other side of that door. Why don't you do the honor? 10 tapes recorded by that hooligan Eddie Winter. Word is, they got stashed in police departments around the Commonwealth. When you find 'em all, you bring 'em to me. I don't expect you to understand. Heck, I don't need you to. We just need to find those tapes. So, you rethink helping me take down Winter? How we doing on the hunt for Eddie's tapes? Just let me know when you manage to get your hands on 'em. No fooling. Once you've drummed up the rest, you bring 'em to me. Then we'll deal with Winter. So, Crocker went amateur butcher on poor Earl. It's moments like this I'm glad I'm not made of meat. Well, I expect you're about as bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons. We should probably head out. I think we ought to talk.
All I know is that without you, Eddie'd still be at large.
Shem Drown had himself buried with all his treasure. Wonder if he worshipped cats, too. Well, come on, then. We're not helping anyone standing around here. On my way out the door, I spotted an active evidence terminal. I'll bet my hat that terminal is the key to finding the rest of the tapes. That's fine. We'll talk later. The Bureau of Alcohol, Drugs, Tobacco, Firearms, and Lasers. It's a mouthful, but if anyone's going to have dirt on Eddie Winter, it's these folks. This part of Boston was Eddie's old stomping ground. I'm not sure the bombs didn't help reduce crime in this neighborhood. Used to go with a gal from Malden. And to head off the next natural question, no, she wasn't a toaster. I hope the tape survived down here. You'd think being this close to Diamond City would make the fens safer. Mayor McDonough isn't exactly an interventionist. Used to get a fair number of clients from around here. It seems folks prefer being missing to living in Quincy. My gut tells me the Boston police evidence terminals are the key to cracking this one. By the way, at some point we should probably stop by my office. Let Ellie know I'm okay.
Jenny.
Natick, huh? Got some vague memories of this place. Not being filled with death claws. Most folks from these old beach towns fled inland. I wouldn't want to have to share waterfront with mirelurks either. You think the Coast Guard had anything on Eddie Winter? The guy was a real avid smuggler in his day. Finally time for Eddie Winter to get his due. I can't wait to see the look on what's left of Eddie's face when we pop that lock of his. I never would have made it this far without you. Yeah?
This won't take long.
Good to know I've got someone I can rely on watching my back. You took an innocent life. I won't be party to something like this. I'm not asking a lot. No, killing Winter was never going to bring me closure. Gal of about 15. Pride and joy of the mayor back then. Man by the name of Henry Roberts. The young Miss Roberts decided she'd run off with some caravan hand she'd, known for an evening. Turns out the guy was part of a gang of kidnappers. I didn't even know who I was rescuing, just stumbled on a crying girl and 4 toughs. I took her home, and the mayor dubbed me a hero, offered me a place in town. Lots of folks protested, said I was a spy, but he wouldn't have it. Taking up in the city was tricky at first, but I never tried to hide what I was, and people seemed to warm to that. Fine by me. Facing the Commonwealth alone is how folks get dead. And don't think I'll forget it. You pulled me out of some hot water, but I'm not going to sit here while you throw someone else in the pot. Just lay off the heavy hand and we won't have any more problems. You're a tougher nut than I thought. Tougher than I was. And I stuck around. Like a fool. Well, not anymore. We're done. I'd tell you to try and not get yourself killed, but why would you start listening now? Yeah, later's fine. Yeah, and I'm staring at it. Couldn't agree more. I guess I just don't give up on people as easily as some.
It's good to have you back, partner.
What you did, it doesn't compare. You killed an innocent person. So what have you got to say for yourself? You're right. It just took me until now to realize it. This was long before I'd moved to town, but apparently some gentleman type shows up in Diamond City, heads down to Power Noodles. Guess he didn't like the food because he pulled his pistol and opened fire on the folks enjoying theirs. When security finally put enough holes in him to drop him, they say he was full of servos and sprockets, just like yours truly. Seems he malfunctioned, went berserk. It was the first time people realized that synths had stopped looking like me and started looking like them. Considering what these folks went through, I felt real lucky they let me in the front gate at all.
We're done. That's it.
You wait until now to get inspiring?
Well, don't get all misty-eyed about it.
With you, I wouldn't miss it for the world. I appreciate it, but you're not going to fix this with talk. You either start acting the part or you're going to have to find a new partner.
It's just, with everything that's happened with you and your family, it's a whole hell of a lot to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
After I started the agency, it just seemed like the sort of thing a detective ought to wear. I got some old memories, pre-war, faded to all heck of guys dressed like this, doing what I do. Putting on the hat and trench coat, I figured it'd let folks know I was serious about the whole thing. Clothes make the man and all that. Guess I felt they made me the man I wanted to be.
Gonna make me stew in my own juices, huh? All right.
Well, all right.
Fine. Well, you're the only person I've met in this world who really seemed like they could rise above it. Not giving in to the cruelty, the violence. But recently it seems like this place is finally getting its claws into you. You're giving in. And I don't think it suits you. Or for that matter, us. I'm pretty sure that was Zombie Eddie we took care of back there. But regardless of form, well, I didn't have to. Back then, synths were even more of an unknown quantity than they are today. I told them I was rigged to explode and started going beep, beep, beep. Hardest part of that rescue was keeping from laughing as they climbed over each other to get away. Well, welcome to the club. Now you either straighten up or I'm gone. Well, I can't say you're wrong. Out here, it didn't take long to lose that new synth shine. I'd tell you to try and not get yourself killed, but why would you start listening now? Water under the bridge. Don't patronize me. You ever do this again, you're going to have to find a new partner. You bet there is. Well, I hope you decide our friendship is worth it. Yeah, fine. Have it your way. But let me just say this. Thank you. I understand as good as any to err is human, but if you want to keep this thing going,
I need you to lay off the heavy hand when you're dealing with people. Start treating them with respect. You do that, then you and me will be good.
I'm done waiting. Took me a long damn time to get a feel for this place. Thank goodness I found Diamond City. It's got its flaws, sure, but it beats the hell out of anywhere else in the Commonwealth. Of course, when I took up there back when, people were just as scared of the Institute as they are now. Maybe more. The massacre of the CPG was still pretty fresh in people's minds at that point, and folks were still losing sleep over the broken mask. Plenty of people assumed I was just a saboteur, moving in to melt down the reactor or poison the drinking water. But at the time, they couldn't exactly turn me away. All right, fine. But seriously, drop the buffoon act, because this is your last shot. There won't be another. Not a problem. Can't say I never offered. I can't promise there won't be some scuffs and dings. Fine. Consider it on the back burner. For now. Thank you.
I don't know. It's a lot to take in.
Hell if I know. If I am, the Institute's plan to gather intel on all the runaways of the Commonwealth has been going off without a hitch.
How about you start by ditching the bullying tactics and start treating the folks we meet with some respect, some compassion? You make that right, or else I'm gone.
Sure did. It was quite the rude awakening.
Yeah, some of our prior conversations to the contrary, I'm not usually one for long sob stories, so I'll keep this brief. I was worried you might be giving in to the callousness, the brutality a place like the Commonwealth brings out. Well, I'm not worried anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
There's a reason I worked alone. Because people don't change. I thought things had been looking up. It seemed like you got the message. But now I'm only going to say this one more time. You need to change your ways, or you need to find yourself a new partner.
Better.
I don't know. Is this something we're going to have to talk about again? Fine, but don't think I'm going to forget this.
Of course. I just need you to remember, relying on bloodshed and intimidation is not how we do things. At least it wasn't.
Ha!
Wise to the end. I just had a hard go with the transition myself. Sure, just let me know, I guess. What? Oh, no. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice to say, it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. But the kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour. Once they'd seen I wasn't going to hurt anyone, the other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. A local mechanic even gave me a once-over, free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being. I've been trying to return the favor ever since. It's a surprisingly rare trait out here sometimes. It's something I've noticed you got a fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long. An irritant to the end. How long has this been hiding in there? It's just, we've been traveling for a while now, and I thought I had you pegged. That you weren't the type to give the cruelty and the violence of the Commonwealth a free pass. That you were someone willing to stand up for good. Now I'm watching that all fade away. Feels like we're back to square one. And if this keeps up, I don't know how much longer I'll be around. I've met a lot of scum in my line of work. People I wouldn't throw to the bloat flies. But you, you're a real piece of work. You. Again. I tried to go back and say thanks, once I'd gotten myself established. But the place was wiped off the map. Raiders. Don't know what happened to the people. The Commonwealth Provisional Government. Years back, a group of settlements tried to get together and form a coalition. Every settlement with even a hint of clout sent representatives to try and hash out an agreement. Only the Institute sent a representative of their own. A synth. The man killed every rep at the talks. The Commonwealth Provisional Government was over before it even got off the ground. I took up in town not long after. I was damn lucky they didn't just tell me to scram right then and there. That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth, authentic Institute handiwork, but I'm still mechanical, not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups. How can I believe you? I'm here as your partner, not your accomplice. I'm looking at it. Well, you sure took your time making that part of yourself known. Can't say I'm a fan. I'd really hoped you'd pull out of this tailspin you've been in, but I guess that was just too much for you. You looked me in the eye and told me you were going to shape up, but that was just another load of bull. You said some cruel things to me. I guess I should have known then. Winter was it. The only reminder left of the original Nick Valentine. The last proof, outside of some long-lost Institute archive, I was ever just a mechanical copy of some cop from a bygone era. I'm not sure how to feel. You and I are done talking. Sure thing. Well, I sort of had the same question. Well, there were times I seriously considered going. But my memories, my personality, they're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain and copied it onto the hardware that runs between my ears. Don't know why they chose to make a robot based on some pre-war cop instead of a math genius or a bioengineer. Hey, maybe that's why the Institute tossed me in the garbage instead of turning me into one of their people snatchers. You know, you sure got a funny way of showing your fondness for others. So, this is where we part ways. I want you to know this comes from a place of respect. But if things keep going like this, you're going to need to start looking for a new partner. I want you to know I appreciate the things you've done for me. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stand idly by while you play escaped inmate with the people of the Commonwealth. So let me lay it out straight. If you still want my help, then you've got to change. You don't know the half of it. You ain't got a lot of chances left. It's up to you to make this right. Otherwise, I'm gone.
Sure was. Which meant when I finally ended up out here, it was quite the rude awakening. Hey, you keep going the way you have, we won't need to have a chat like this for the rest of our days. Look, I'm not asking you to hang up your guns. Far from it. But when it comes to dealing with Joe and Jane Commonwealth, all the cruelty, intimidation, and fear, it has to stop. That's not how I do business. And neither should you. My plan was to keep things going as is. I hope yours is the same. Good attitude to have. Not the way I felt. It took me a long time to realize that home is where you make it. And with some time and effort, this place can be home for you, too. That's a long story, but I hope it helps. Want to get moving? Oh, yeah? And why should I?
You're damn right it won't. Now, come on. I'm done talking. That's real good to hear.
Because I was Nick Valentine. I had his memories, his fears, all that poor bastard's hope. I remember getting the call to head to some lab in Cambridge to get that neurotrans whatever. And the next thing I know, I'm in a trash heap. My family, my home, my entire life gone. Then I discover all those things that they weren't even mine. Everything I ever was belonged to Nick. I'd hoped with winter gone, the last hint of that old world snuffed out, I could finally be free. But being out here with you, what I finally realized after all this time was that taking down winter, it wasn't about Nick or Jenny or even you or me. It was about justice, about doing what's right. And that act of goodness, that's ours. All the good we've done, that's ours, and ours alone. And even if that's the only thing in this world that I can ever claim as mine, not Nick's, not the Institute's, but mine, then I can die happy.
And none of it would have ever happened if it weren't for you. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to thank you for that.
For you and me? I'm not sure how many laters we have left.
Well, you certainly seem to judge doing good pretty high on your list of necessities.
I'll head on home. You killed someone in cold blood. No investigation. No deliberation. Now, some folks out there deserve a bullet for breakfast.
But where the hell's your damn proof this one did? I never expected something like this from someone like you.
I knew you had a nasty streak, but this... Hey now, I don't think I'm asking something unreasonable. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. Sorry, my mind's made up. We're through. Oh, I plan to. It's just, I feel like I did you a disservice. Later, yeah, we can do this later. Now, I couldn't really blame them, given the circumstances. But folks sure started turning the other cheek when I showed up with the mayor's daughter. It was a messy business, I know, but this meant a lot to me. Oh, so now you're finally listening, huh? Good. Then hear this. This is the last time we're having this conversation. Shape up, or I'm gone. Ha! Well, I'm not sure if anyone told you, but there's been a war. Nothing big. I think we'll bounce back just fine. Well, you're on your own now, pal. And if that time comes, maybe you and I will need to have another chat. But that's not now.
Well, then maybe you ought to get used to not having old Nick to boss around. Because if something like this happens again, I'm gone. Understand?
You're goddamn right there's a problem. If this is how you've decided you're going to solve your problems, then maybe we shouldn't. We've just been traveling a while now, and I figure there hasn't exactly been equitable distribution of information. I've gotten a decent glimpse into your dirty laundry, but you still don't really know a whole heck of a lot about me. I figured I'd offer to balance the board. So, is there anything you want to know?
Oh, no, you don't get off that easy. I don't doubt that's partly true, but they still treated me better than they had any requirement to. I think it's a lesson worth considering.
You had your chance. Why the hell would I stick around now? You need something? What needs doing? What's the plan? Yeah, what do you need now? Go on. Something to say? Well, you got my attention. Who needs help? And maybe that's true, but I'm not going to stand by while this becomes a spree. I guess I'm not quite the judge of character I thought. Had to be you stumbling into that vault to find me.
This how you act around everyone, or just former friends? Thought you had more sense than this. Is this you doing your best Raider impression? It's impeccable. Now how about you knock it off? About time you straighten out that attitude. I thought I could really count on you. Now I'm wondering if I ever knew you at all. Too many folks these days count on violence to solve their problems. You only have to look around to see where that got us. You see a lot of folks at their worst in my line of work. Hard to not let it get to you sometimes. You good to keep going? I don't sleep or eat or anything like that. But if you need to, you do it. The detective's life isn't an easy one, but it rarely lacks for excitement. The Commonwealth can take a real toll on you if you let it. Seen this place make monsters out of men. I just thought you and I stood for something. Now I'm wondering if you haven't just been leading me along this whole time. I don't need to worry about the old Nick and his life anymore. I'll never be able to thank you for that. At this rate, we're going to have to put your name up on signs for the agency. You know, winter looked even worse than I expected for a 200-year-old ghoul. Count myself real lucky you pulled me out of that vault. Real lucky. I'll follow wherever you lead. It's all pretty hazy from back then, but now and then I get glimpses. Life inside the Institute. They keep you isolated. A single test chamber was my whole world for years, and someone was always watching. Then one day you wake up on the other side, and that's it. They've cut you loose. Welcome to the brave new world, with such people in it. Well, if you really mean that. Thanks. Well, I'll be around if you change your mind. Like how you've been behaving of late. Sure. Don't play stupid with me. Well, they sure didn't make it easy. Fine. Sure, I guess this can wait. This ain't negotiable. You need to either straighten up, or you need to find a new partner. Well, I'd expect you to feel lost, scared, and mad as hell. I sure did. I started off doing the jobs no one else wanted. I got more banged up being Diamond City's handyman than I ever did living out in the ruins. But I guess folks never forgot I rescued the mayor's daughter, so they started coming to me when people went missing. Wife runs off with a new paramour and takes the rent money with her. Talk to the synth. An upset father decides moving him and the kids to Good Neighbor in the dead of night's not the worst damn idea since the bomb. Go get Nick. After a while, the jobs got so backed up, they didn't even ask me to do the handyman stuff anymore. Hell, I was so happy to do it, it was months before I started charging anyone. I never stopped being Nick the Synth, but it was Nick the Detective folks came to see. It was about then that things finally started feeling normal. You can't stop being noble now, can you? You know, I've been thinking about how things went down with Winter. I never properly thanked you for that. Hey, let me ask you something. Hey, hold your horses for a second. I owe you an apology. So are you going to let me apologize? Or am I just going to have to stand here like a dunce? You lied to me again and again. You lied to me, called me damn names. Wrong? Oh, no, nothing's wrong. No. No more jokes. Hey there, friend. What have you got for me? Ready for anything. You say the word. You just point the way. I got you covered. I'm listening. Go ahead. I got you covered. For now. Now, this something you can't handle yourself? This ought to be good. What? Back to ruin my day? You're still here? What do you want? Pester someone else, why don't you? Because I'd rescued the mayor's daughter. Fine. Go. From here on out, you don't exist to me. Won't be the same without you around. We've done some real good. Shame to stop now. I'm still game if you are. Maybe it'll give you time to figure some things out. You really want me sticking around? Because you sure don't act like it. You sure know how to set an example. Just not one I'd ever follow. Commonwealth's got enough thugs as it is. Doesn't need you adding to the head count. I guess tact isn't exactly your strong suit. There's a lot of people out here could use a hand. The Commonwealth's not an easy place to travel alone. Nice to have someone watching my back. You'd be shocked how many folks I've managed to convince I'm just a really sick ghoul. Should we get a move on? Always another case to close. Sorry. You say something? I get flashes from old Nick's life every now and then. Guy sure spent a lot of time in sandwich joints. It was nice to feel like we're really making a difference out here. I didn't know what to think when we first signed up together. Color me impressed. It's good to see there's someone out here who's not willing to let the Commonwealth get its claws in them. Every scumbag in the Commonwealth's gonna know our names. Lead the way. I've been told the Valentine Detective Agency signs are an eyesore, but they sure bring in the business. You got a real do-gooder streak. That's rarer than it ought to be. Now Eddie's as dead as Jenny and Nick. And I'm at a loss. There's not a lot of folks you can count on out here. Guess that makes you the exception. Shame you're not a synth. We could keep this going until Judgment Day. Though I guess maybe we already missed it. I used to wonder how folks lasted as long as they have out here. But now I know. It's thanks to people like you. Traveling alone just doesn't hold the same allure it used to. You're one hell of a partner. We'll make something out of the Commonwealth yet. Can only imagine what being out here is doing to my circuitry. You going for a dip? Good luck. Goodness, you smell that? Is that coming from the water, or did we stumble into a crime scene? God only knows what might be living down there. I expect tourism's dried up substantially. Think there's anything left worth taking? I'm surprised this place is still standing. Either we just stumbled upon an old sock storage facility, or something went real rotten in here. Found more than my share of runaways hiding in places like these. All these vaults run together for you, too? If I never get stuck in one of these things again, it'll be too soon. How many folks you think could fit in one of these? You picked me up in Vault 114. There are really over 100 of these things? Must have cost a fortune to build a place like this. Place like this makes you think about how much folks took for granted back then. You know, what it lacks in charm, it makes up for in, wait, I'll come up with something. Places like this are magnets for folks on the lam. I suppose because everyone else has the good sense to avoid them. Really taking in the sights, aren't we? Places like this attract 3 types. Junkies, thugs, and whatever eats junkies and thugs. Stay on your guard. I don't know if anything's still living down here, but I bet it's not going to be happy to see us. More tight quarters, huh? Now, you don't come to a place like this expecting visitors. I can't tell. Has this place seen better days? I expect these were the first places looted after the bombs. Not sure how much will be left. Clean up, everywhere. Raiders use these places to ambush folks desperate for supplies. Human cruelty never ceases to amaze. Well, at least you can't beat the prices. Wrecked and ransacked. Keep your eyes up. Places like this are a sniper's paradise. Hope you like stairs. Wrong step in a place like this could well be your last. Probably get a good idea of the neighborhood from up here. Some punk runaway thought he'd hide from me in one of these things. Didn't make it 4 floors. I suppose a pleasure cruise is out of the question at this point. I'm more seaworthy than this old thing. Wonder how long it was adrift before it ended up here. Folks must be nuts to try to live on these things. Though I guess that would explain Libertalia. Never cared for sea travel. Ruins my cigarettes. The Commonwealth was once the greatest center for learning on Earth. Now its best school is one room in a baseball stadium. Bet most scavengers would overlook a place like this. Might be worth rummaging around. No more teachers. No more books. Well, if any place was going to be haunted, you never know what someone might just discard. Probably looked like a bomb went off here before the war. You know, your tours leave something to be desired. What a dump. Get it? Of course you do. Still more orderly than good neighbor. You'd build high walls, too, if you had neighbors like these. Used to be a real beautiful city. Careful, this is rough territory. And my hat's off to Boston's architects. I doubt they expected so many of their works to survive the apocalypse. If I were going to plan an ambush, places like this used to be slapped on postcards. Now look at it. Who do you think actually won the war? Nobody, I guess. How many lifetimes you think it would take to rebuild a place like this? I wouldn't let my guard down. There's still plenty of opportunities for trouble. What do you suppose did this place in? The bombs? Or the people after the bombs? How many rock and a hard place jokes you think folks heard working at a place like this? Long way down. Takes a whole lot of equipment to run a place like this. Think any can be salvaged? Just one big scar. That's kinda pretty. You know, if you squint. Well, isn't this a lovely spot to get picked off? Hey, at least there's no ants at this picnic. I suppose it's kinda nice when no one's shooting at you. Feel like we've got targets painted on our backs out here. Maybe we go around? Avoid the clearings? There must be something in here. At least some hooch. Was always more of an in-the-field type myself. Words never said. I wish I'd spent more time at the office getting nuked. Like a maze in here. Probably so folks couldn't run. The American business. All the maneuvering and human suffering of total war. None of the thrill. Hard to look at it like this, in such disrepair. What a different world it'd be if folks just listened to the wisdom of the past. Wonder if people held out any better down here than on the surface. These tunnels are havens for bad sorts. Used to be able to traverse the entire city through these tunnels. Now you're more likely to get eaten. Mind your step, things living down here tend to burrow. A little dank for my taste. I'm surprised McDonough hasn't set one of these up for himself outside Diamond City. Desperate people wind up in places like this. And desperate people rarely like guests. Probably busier than a stingwing nest in its day. Wonder if I was made in a place like this. This place would be a tinkerer's paradise. Place is built like a bomb shelter. Though from the looks of it, it sure didn't protect like one. It's in pretty good shape, considering. That ceiling looks stable to you? Never was much of a drinker myself. It tastes like battery acid. I always wondered if it was a malfunction. I'll guarantee the hooch in here is safer to drink than the moonshine they sling at the dugout inn. Surprised there's still so much here. Place must be more dangerous than we thought. Wish we could just make these things see reason. Goodness, do I really look as bad as these models? I never did understand why the hell they programmed us to feel pain. Something I always wondered about mutants. What's with the bags of meat? What the hell's the use of a meat bag? Supposing you paid your taxes before the war, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of this is yours. Who'd choose a life like this? I almost feel bad for them. Almost. Folks who show no mercy get no mercy. Psychopaths and drug addicts. Take whatever you can carry. Not worth it falling into the wrong hands again. I bet this place got hit hard. And this is why I don't swim. Anywhere there's water, there's mirelurks. Safest way to deal with gunners? A rifle and distance. You kill a gunner, or they kill you. If they were willing to see reason, they wouldn't have joined the gunners. If you're looking to stock up on ammo, or get shot, this'll be the place. I knew a couple of guys who thought they could make caps looting a deathclaw nest. Emphasis on new. These things are mutated lizards, right? Just on luck they didn't stay vegetarians. As long as these things are out here, folks will never be safe outside the settlements. Or in them, for that matter. Bunch of bad-tempered museum exhibits. Someone needs to put these children to bed. This place has probably been picked cleaner than a Brahmin dinner. All the resources they've got, the Brotherhood could do a lot of good. Shame they want to wipe out my kind instead. Firepower and fervor. The Brotherhood has both in spades. Only madmen could justify trying to wipe out an entire people just because they were made, not born. If the Brotherhood had its way, they'd probably want to eliminate hot plates, too, as soon as one burned them. Protecting people from themselves. The oldest excuse of any tyrant. A lot of use this all ended up being. I always preferred history class myself. Well, ain't science grand? When exploring these sorts of places, remember, if it looks volatile, it probably is. The Commonwealth's beaker famine ends today. Just think how many people you could take care of in a place like this. If there were going to be meds anywhere, grab whatever you can find. No telling who might be able to use it. Must have been a madhouse after the bombs. Take a man smarter than me to tell you what all this did. Not the sort of place someone sets up if they don't have to. Hard to believe someone could scratch a life out in a place like this. These folks probably didn't have much to begin with, let alone what's left now. Talk about roughing it. Not a bad place to become someone's meal. You smell that? Whatever died down here, I sure hope it was voluntary. So, we taking up the hermit life? You know, there are easier ways to get a drink. Well, plenty of bottles around. I'd expect there to be plenty of caps, too. Bet this place was overrun once the bombs hit. If you ever wondered where old planes go to die, probably some decent parts still lying around here. I don't think anyone's going to ask to see our tickets. I wonder what it'd take to cobble one of these planes back to life. Institute treats synths like tools, tossed away without a thought. Luckily, these things have all the sense of a sack of doorknobs. Where the hell do these things keep coming from? I've never been a fan of mutant hospitality. These things keep us trapped behind our high walls. So who really rules the Commonwealth? Careful. Some of these bots pack a real punch. The difference between robots and synths? Well, we're prettier to start with. And parts from robots don't usually fit synths. Trust me, I've tried. Probably some real caps to be made from all this scrap. Seems everything that survived the bombs got bigger and madder. Watch your step. Probably walking over a mole rat warren as we speak. I heard these things taste as bad as they smell. Whoever coined the phrase mountains out of molehills clearly never saw a mole rat den. Mole rats are quick little buggers, aren't they? Phew. You can bet no one would eat these things if they had to smell them first. You see any burrows around? Mirelurks usually like to scare the hell out of their prey before eating them. If you're really looking to tick off a mirelurk, fiddle with its eggs. Bet these dolts weren't expecting to get wiped up by the likes of us. Gunners pack more bullets than brain cells. Though they do pack a lot of bullets. Wandered into College Square on my own once. Never seen so many ghouls in one place. Sometimes you can still make out the person in there. First time I met a feral, I hoped it would ignore me because I wasn't made of meat. I guess they'll eat anything. Keep your distance. Ferals hit hard. Poor bastards. 10 feet of muscle and rage. Death claws make everything else look like children's toys. Hope you took your Rad-X. Never understood cults. I guess some folks just prefer being told what to do. Probably safe to assume these folks were loony before the Rads. These things have mandibles, armor plating, and numbers. Makes you wonder how humanity managed to survive at all. I feel bad. Wasting the ammo. I'm not a fan of anything that has more legs than brain cells. Yeah, a nest of these things set up one summer in Diamond City's upper stands. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. I'm game if you want to keep moving. Of course, I'm not the one that benefits from a good night's rest. Easy to forget how perilous it can be out here at night. Change a shift for all the killers of the Commonwealth. Yeah, now at least we'll be able to see what's trying to eat us. I always did like the rain. Another beautiful day in the most dangerous place in the world. You leave all your scruples in your other coat? Or is this just who you are now? A hitman? I didn't realize we were pimping ourselves out as guns for hire now. I want you to know this is all going on your bill. With you at the helm, the Minutemen could be a big damn deal. Changing the terms of the deal on the fly, huh? Real noble of you. We can figure this out. No, damn it! My friend here gets a little excitable sometimes just before a fight. Don't know when to quit, do you? Well, goodness, man, speak. Happy to roll up my sleeves if you think you could use the help. There's not a lot of situations where stripped down to your socks is the right course of action. I can tell this ain't one of them. So if we could just skip to it. Guess I missed the memo we'd taken up as thugs for hire. Finally, something going the Commonwealth's way. You could buy a lot of funny outfits with that kind of scratch, pal. Some folks just have no appreciation for art. You really think this place would be better off in the hands of super mutants or raiders? Won't hear any argument from me. Synths have it tough enough as it is. You're not shuffling off on us just yet. You really gonna make a deal with this scumbag? And our word's as good as gold. Would you look at that? You're done putting people through your little tests. Because light on charm doesn't really quite describe it. Seems this place ought to be a museum, not a weather vane. You talk that way to everyone who lends you a hand? Never read a spy novel, huh? You really think that's the best way to play this? Cook those crabs from all directions. I don't even want to look at you right now. She's just one gal, and the two of you are dragging poor Paul through the ringer. As enlightening as this has all been, you really think threatening this man will... Good, I was worried for a second there you were going to do it. Interesting's a word for it. A few words with the lady and we'll be out of your hair. What, you wanted to wipe your mouth for you after meals, too? You can imagine our surprise. Sorry, Sheffield. Seems you're going to have to drink dust because my friend can't figure out how to untie his purse strings. No accounting for taste, I guess. Common decency. What a pleasant change. Yelling at a guy down on his luck. Where do you learn your manners? Those poor bots don't even know what's about to happen. We really just gonna leave these missing people in the lurch? Let's be civilized about this. There's no need for blood. I never would have made it this far without thick skin. I wouldn't want any hiccups in the supply chain. It does rather defy logic. Not without a fight, you're not. Now's not the time to overexert yourself. Save that for if the Brotherhood starts heading your way. Yeah, most folks refuse to be bothered. That's so. Remind me to get any deals from you in writing in the future. Overwhelming force, huh? Guess that's one way to take him down. Not an easy decision, but maybe one you should consider more seriously. You must be joking. She seemed to suggest you'd all gone the way of the dodo. We can resolve this like civilized folk. Us getting involved would only complicate things further, Paul. Well, maybe they should come back. Give it another shot. What my crass friend is trying to say is we're in a bit of a hurry. And lucky for all of us, we'll be leaving shortly. Guess she'd benefit from it as much as anyone. Honor doesn't really mean a lick to you, does it? Don't envy any decision when there's lives on the line. We can all still walk away from this. Now, don't think you're going in there without me. Listen to reason, Paul. You've got our word, Abbott. Wouldn't kill you to help the guy. There ain't nothing like real jazz. Why don't you try showing a little respect? Daughter doesn't seem like the stupid one from where I'm standing. Yeah, it can be a real, monstrous world. You seem like a reasonable guy. Work with us here. We're not here to cause any trouble. We know we're all on the same team, so you can keep your grubby mitts to yourself. That man's dead as dirt, and it's going to be on your head. I hope you realize that. I hope those caps were worth sullying yourself like that. Particularly not when dealing with precious cargo. There's no need to belittle someone else's dream, even if it is a bit nuts. Easy, they can't. That doc had a lot of blood on her hands. We did the right thing, right? You're not buying our silence. You wouldn't hurt a couple of harmless visitors, would you? We can work this out. Everyone can walk away with their protocols intact. You're not going to put them through the ringer for being cautious now, are you? You really think scrapping a piece of history, not to mention those bots' home, is the thing to do here? Can we make you more comfortable? You know, you got some real nerve. You're damn right synths are machines, but that doesn't stop us from being people. You're through, son. That's all right, Laurie.
You're here with friends. And one goon. Not bad. I'd still keep a firearm handy, but honestly, not bad. Seems charm's at a premium down here. I hope you're not considering helping give those robots the boot from their home. Kent's blood is on your hands now. Guess you saved St. John the trouble. Discretion never was your strong suit, was it? That woman's just gonna keep using people as her playthings. You willing to stomach that? That girl's done being your lab rat. Not an enviable situation. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing. This is a discussion the kid has to have right now? Keep up, pal. We got an adventure ahead of us. You're not honestly suggesting we leave a child way out here. No one could be that heartless. Yeah, but I'm guessing he wasn't the surrender and talk type, was he? But we both know that angle isn't going to work. Yeah, but something tells me he's not going to drop by for a chat and coffee. Yeah, but we both know he's not exactly available for a chat and coffee. Yeah, figures the Institute's only man on the outside wouldn't be the type to be taken alive. Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to go quietly the moment I saw him. He had to have a way in and out. But am I right in thinking he's not available for a chinwag? He had to have a way in and out. But, well, we both know that angle is cut off. A real crisis you've got here. At this rate, he'll have swayed the scarecrows to his side before week's end. No wonder it's in such great shape. If that's the silver lining. You're not the only one with skin in this game. Makes me happy I don't eat. But they sure are thriving. Have some damn heart. Whatever it is, I don't think it's well. It this bad every day, or did something pass away in here recently? Then you must be out of your damned mind. Now, you gonna talk? And you can go on pirating for the rest of your days. Pathetic? That seems awful generous. I think you're forgetting a couple lapses in human decision-making. I think you and I got real different definitions of humane. And so long as he doesn't start eyeing me up for reclamation, it'd probably be good to have another gun on our side. Couldn't just walk away. Precisely. Shouldn't have to bloody any more noses than we have to. Sure they can. But do you want to? Now hold up a second. You're no synth, but you sure got panache. Yeah, you're right. The airport, huh? You sure you want to waltz through Brotherhood HQ with a synth at your side? About time we take a break, no? Friend, you got nothing to worry about. Me and the Institute haven't been on speaking terms for a long time. Well, yeah, I suppose I am. Hey, give me a sec. Gotta check in with a friend. Well, look who it is. That's the spirit. I guess that'd make me the first to teach you how to act, now wouldn't it? Watch your caps in this place. Folks behind the bar are as likely to rob you as those in front of it. You sure this is the place you want to drink? All right. Who says I lost? Hey there, friend. What's good here? That's so. Well, so long as you're staying out of trouble. Excuse me a moment. Really giving me the hard sell here, Wellingham. I'll consider it. Now, how about that drink? Always the humanitarian, ain't you, Chuck? The beer tastes like warm spit, but you'd be hard-pressed to find a friendlier place for a drink. What's the word, Charlie? How's the noodles game, Tack? Are you looking to throw away some extra caps? Because this'd be the place. Vadim, we've been through this. I'm not going to be your guinea pig. Again. I'm still mulling it over. Seems Valentine and Wellingham might be a little tight to fit on the signs. Wellingham? Well, good for you. You still haven't poisoned anyone? Good. I won't tolerate anyone mistreating the only other robot in town I can stand. Hey now, no need to be uncivil. Hey, Deezer. How's business? You mean unfit for human consumption. How's it going, Henry? What? It ain't that bad, is it? Vadim, you old lech. How have you been? It'd be a chilly day in hell before I buy any of your swill. So, anyone new in need of finding? Hey, Joe. What's the word coming in on the caravans? Yeah, looks great, though I'd prefer it in our long-distant past. Let's wrap this up, shall we? Don't look at me. I find people, not nuclear devices. Can't be much further now. Of course, maybe now they won't see us coming. Show these boys what a synth can do.
Good neighbor. Lowest place in the Commonwealth. Everything not nailed down rolls through here at some point.
Even good people do crazy things when they're scared. Ought to be Diamond City's motto.
What a waste of a venue.
My friend here just did you a favor, Skinny. You always did have bad taste in women. Now that she's not around to feed that temper of yours, maybe you'll see sense and let us walk. You still owe me for 2 weeks in the hole. Darla's a runaway. Her father wanted me to bring her back home. Turns out she skipped town to be with my old pal Skinny Malone, mob boss. Never thought he'd manage to scrape together a big enough crew to take over a vault. Guess life's full of surprises. Well, so much for Skinny Malone. Think he's lighter or heavier with all those holes in him? The bullets probably add a few ounces. Good night, sweet prince. Here's to all the old days. It's going to be an awkward conversation with Darla's parents when I tell them their daughter bit the big one. Well, at least the case is closed. Who are the madmen now? We can take it from here. That was one sorry negotiation up there. And Mayor McDonough's term ends with a bang. With any luck, something will be making a meal of Mr. McDonough before sunrise. And this is where they taught the puppets to dance. College Square isn't exactly the intellectual hotbed it once was. Here lies the Institute, who shall meddle no more in the affairs of men. Sticking around here is a real quick way to earn, then lose an extra limb. They're going to have a hell of a time swimming in there with all that foliage. I'm not looking to get set up, if that's why we're here. Besides, these aren't my type. McDonough being a synth isn't going to make my life in Diamond City any easier. At least most people think I'm just a robot. Some folks never lose their fondness for living in the basement. Just imagine how nice this place would have been without all the cannibals. It was probably real nice before it was covered in glass shards. We could build ourselves a friend with all the stuff in here. I expect he'd wished he'd kept birds about now. I don't think it was called the Hippocratic Suggestion. Unless you're looking to suck down some sieverts, I recommend we move out. This isn't exactly the kind of stroll on the beach I was hoping for. I get the feeling we're being watched. I don't even want to think about what these folks do with their sewage. Blood bug paradise. Going up? Those are some real flashy killing machines. It's hard to believe anything that was once human could do something like that. Nice setup for a bunch of mudslingers. I doubt they'd planned on this market being open air. Tough guy throws a punch. Smart guy never needs to. The former citizens of Jamaica Plain and I have very different definitions of treasure. They don't usually build security like this to protect a broom closet. The cultural center of the Commonwealth sits in that building. Heartbreaking, isn't it? Mass State was a real nice settlement in its day. But once the Institute had its way with it, I wouldn't breathe any more of that than you have to. I think this place was lacking in charm before getting bombed. Well, this is a fine mess. You ain't planning to take up where our friend left off. I've witnessed some unspeakable things in my day, but this may take the cake. As if the Commonwealth didn't have enough monsters. No matter how lovely, no water is safe from mirelurks. If I didn't know any better, I'd think they were trying to build a nuke in here. Oh, my God. So I guess mass fusion did all right for themselves in their day. I expect there's a damn good reason this place is abandoned. Never in my life did I expect to stand this close to a sun. Had some funny ideas for entertainment back then, didn't they? Quite the setup they had in here. Well, at least the mirelurks won't be hurting for housing anymore. Don't be afraid to dream big, buddy. This isn't all you have to be. Be my guest. Lord knows I'm not pressing 'em. You think this'll affect ticket sales? Well, this certainly explains a lot about the local fauna. The Peepin' Tom's paradise. Probably safe to say that's not the place to take a dunk. We heading to Libertalia? You in the mood for dodging gunfire? Someone was living down here. Emphasis on the was. I figured it might be prettier from up here. Quincy wasn't exactly a tourist hotspot before the Gunners moved in. It must have been nice being able to pick up and move at a whim. Roomy. What kind of monster could think this is art? I think we may have missed the last train for a while. A dunk in here's a quick way to up your rad count. A glowing one as a lighthouse beacon. I won't fault 'em their cleverness, that's for sure. Makes you wonder how some folks made it through at all. If there were any justice in the world, this place would be nothing but fried deathclaw. Sometimes I think these Gunners are too smart for their own damn good. If you're looking for a fresh meal, I'd steer clear of this place. No way anyone survived that. Though I guess we ought to make sure. Good God, you catch the plates on that one? Now, you got anything for me? Some tapes, maybe? You got some tapes for me? Well, I like how you've been handling things lately, if that's what you mean. What can I say? I like your style. You want to help people out here. That's the kind of person I want to travel with. Now, I'd say we're pretty darn good, considering what we're up against. But there's always more good to be done. You're trying to make a difference out here. That puts you in the good column in my book. Not enough people out here are willing to try and do what's right. I consider myself awful lucky I fell in with one who is. Thanks to you, Eddie Winter's pushing up daisies, and the Commonwealth's safer for it. What you've done, I'll never be able to thank you enough. Well, to not put too fine a point on it, you're the best damn partner I've ever had. So I'd say I'm doing pretty good. With you at my side, doing the kind of good we've done, I'm about as great as one synth can be. I got you as a friend. There's nothing more one old bot could ask for. Honestly, I don't think I could ask for a better partner or a better friend. You gonna try and smooth talk your way out of this now? Well, I ain't falling for it. Have you just forgotten all the lousy things you've done? Because I haven't. So how do you think I feel about us? After everything you've done, I think you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Does that answer your question? Me? I'm just having trouble believing that one person could go so wrong. What? Like anything I say is gonna matter now? You've dug us into this hole. It's up to you to pull us out. You and me? Unless you start turning things around, there's not going to be a you and me. I'm disappointed in your behavior and my judgment. The way you've been handling things out here, it's a mess. And I'm not sure how much longer I'm willing to be a party to it. I'm sincerely hoping you'll lay off the troublemaker routine and start trying to do right by people out here. I can't say I'm pleased with how you've been handling things out here. How about we try lending a hand for a change? Shame. I guess I'll just head home. Won't be the same without you. Hard to say. You know, some folks are just out for themselves. Some want to help those in need. Jury's still out which camp you're in. Got no major complaints at the moment. Well, traveling with you beats being held prisoner in some vault. That's for darn sure. So, yeah, I'd say we're fine. I've been thinking about that myself. I suppose we're okay. I feel like we could be doing more for folks out here, but otherwise, we're all right. I guess things are all right. I just want to make things right for people out here. My hope is you feel the same. Nicely done. Well, aren't you something? Come again? What was that? Where do I even begin? And that's how you do it. Now that's something you don't see every day. With good reason. Not bad. That's the last time you get away with something like that. Understand? Well, sure. Yeah, you got it. All right. Not an option. No. Not gonna happen. Here, seems you could use this. Well, thanks. Much obliged. Well, I'm a synth, so radiation isn't much of an issue for me.
But that suit of power armor you've got on might be the guardian angel you're looking for. That, or you could buy up all the Rad-X and Rad-Away you can find from any chem dealer who's got it in stock. Flying that ship into the heart of the Commonwealth. Mark my words, the Brotherhood's here to start a war. Turning yourself into a super mutant to survive the glowing sea? Well, I can't say Dr. Virgil lacks ingenuity. I doubt the Institute is going to appreciate us putting down one of their lackeys. We ought to find someone to analyze that chip. Pronto. Do me a favor. Once you're in there, remember the looks on the faces of those Institute goons. I'd assumed this Institute excursion of yours was going to be a one-way trip. Sure proved me wrong. Hancock, see you in Diamond City. All right, let's move fast. Follow me. Thanks for getting me out. How did you know where to find me, anyway? Not many people knew where I went. Guess I'll head on home, then. No synth does. Security protocols strip those memories out. Let's get going. This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari. The biggest scientific secret of the Commonwealth. You need this, and so do we. Don't worry. We're gonna get your boy back. Just a few more steps. May have walked out of the den, Irma, but I'd never walk out on you. All right, see you at the den. I have to go to the memory den either way, if I'm going to introduce you to Amari. But if you want to head there together, just say so. I wouldn't have put it quite that way, but it's true. We need a dead man's memories. Guy named Kellogg. It's in Good Neighbor, a little slice of trouble northeast a ways. The memory den ain't just a fancy name. It's literal. A lot of people give up all their caps just to relive the good parts of their lives. Over and over. But not us. We're going to try to dive deep into someone else's mind. I can meet you there, or we can head out together. Those circuits look awfully familiar. Don't worry about me, Amari. Let's do it. No idea. But we got a missing kid on the line. That's worth the risk. You're talking about me, right? I'm an old synth. If the Institute built me out of similar parts, we might have an in. It's nice to know that even when I'm about to have a foreign object shoved into my noggin, you find new horrible ways to laugh at my expense. Hell, why not? Plenty of room in my head anyway. Trust me, Amari's hands are the safest place a brain can be. Don't worry about me, Amari. I'm well past the warranty date anyway. You can thank me when we've found your son. All right, let's do this. You gotta hack that terminal to open up this door. If you get locked out of the terminal, don't worry. The system will reset itself. Just give it a minute. Don't bother. I don't need to hear them. Plug me in, Doc. Yeah, we found him all right. Hello. Hey, come here. I think I found something. Earl Sterling, local assistant bartender? Why not nab the bartender himself? Yeah, I've heard it all before. You're a freak. You've got something to hide. Blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, people smart enough to build something like me are smart enough to cover their tracks, and arrogant enough to throw their unwanted trash into the Commonwealth to fend for itself. So, we're talking about a group of cold-hearted killers, but they waited until something went wrong to resort to violence. I'll stay here and see if I can jimmy this lock. Wait. It couldn't be. You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you? I didn't want Ellie to hear this, but I think you should know. Everything I dug up about Kellogg before his disappearance is bad news. He's more than just a mercenary. He's a professional. Quick, clean, thorough. Has no enemies, because they're all dead. Except you. But 9-to-1 odds says he's our man. It's more than just you identifying his distinguishing features. The M.O. is all him as well. Leading a small team to kidnap a baby and leaving one of the parents alive for later? Not many mercs in the Commonwealth can pull that off. That's one heck of a lock. Got something to hide, Kellogg? It's way too big of a coincidence. Well, they're the boogeymen of the Commonwealth. Something goes wrong, everyone blames them. Easy to see why. Those early model synths of theirs strip whole towns for parts, killing everything in their way. Then you got the newer models, good as human, that infiltrate cities and pull strings from the shadows. Worst of all, no one knows why they do it, what their plan is, or where they are. Not even me. And I'm a synth myself. The discarded prototype, anyway. So we're talking a small team. Professionals. The kind that know to keep their lips tight when they're on the job. Not sure what the backup means, though. You're right. The speculation is getting us off track. Let's focus on what you saw. What did these kidnappers look like? I always am. And he bought a house here in town, right? And he had a kid with him, didn't he? Good question. Why your family in particular, and why an infant? Someone would be taking on all of his care, and a baby needs a lot of it. High-end mercenaries. No job too brutal. They're in the running as likely suspects. They wouldn't be the ones pulling the strings. No luck? Guess we'll need to find the key. Not much to go on, but a tough and commanding voice can get someone pretty far in the violence business. What else? Maybe some kind of improvised armor? A lot of hired guns do that to look tough. The hazard suit is interesting. Not many mercs can afford something that fancy. What else do you remember about them? Some kind of security setting strips or blocks out those memories. And it's not just me. Any synth that gets trashed, left behind, or escapes the Institute has the same problem. Probably some kind of failsafe. All right, calm down. Here we are. Keep an eye out, will you? Let's see if I can get this open. Well, what do you know? The door's not even locked. Let's head inside. Ellie, what notes do we have about the Kellogg case? You were on ice, huh? More importantly, you were underground, sealed up. That's a lot of obstacles to get through just to take one person. Why don't you give it a try? As far as I know, never seen any other synth like myself. There's the older ones that are dumb as rocks and all metal, and there's the newer ones that are almost human. I'm somewhere in between. Big, green, muscles on muscles. In other words, hard to miss. I think we can safely rule them out. I want you to come to my office in Diamond City. Give me all the details. Besides, I think you've earned a chance to sit down and clear your head. Whoa. One case at a time, Ellie. Our new friend needs our help first. What else can you tell me? Well, that confirms it. This isn't a random kidnapping. Whoever took your kid had an agenda. There's a lot of groups in the Commonwealth that take people. Raiders, super mutants, the Gunners, and of course there's the Institute. You see that platform in the distance, near the city entrance? That's the elevator to the mayor's office. Why don't you go ask around there? Could have been a large caliber revolver. I'm starting to get a clearer picture of the kind of man our perp is. Anything more you can tell me? Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address. See if we can snoop out where he went. I honestly doubt it. They can barely organize themselves, let alone pull off something this complicated. When you're trying to find someone who's gone missing, the devil is in the details. Tell me everything you can, no matter how painful it might be. Tell me everything you can, no matter how painful it might be. You're back, and not with your son. What happened? He's my client, Piper. Why don't you learn not to snoop on a man's private affairs? She's my client, Piper. Why don't you learn not to snoop on a woman's private affairs? True enough. Kellogg's brain. It's a long shot, but Dr. Amari just might be able to get it jump-started. See what the old merc knew. Gets his brains blown out. His brains. You know, we may not need the man at all. I know it's grisly, but what choice do we have? We got no leads, nothing. That old merc's brain just might have all the secrets we need to know. I'll let her give you her life story in person. Let's stay focused. I guess we're going to need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work. I'm sure you'll manage. Let's see. I guess we're going to need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work. Kellogg. Huh, he's not gone. It's a long shot, but it's the only one we got. I woke up in a junk pile ages ago. Just another discarded prototype. The Institute hasn't come calling since. I'm sorry. It's all right. The man's clearly upset. Look, Piper's right. Sad thing is, I have no idea. It's all right. It's all right. The lady's clearly upset. Look, Piper's right. Sad thing is, I have no idea. Stay with me on this. We get a piece of Kellogg's gray matter and take it to Amari. Then we see if she's got the goods to pull this off. Cybernetics, huh? We may have just won the lottery. You're talking to a synth. I am a little out there. Just stay with me on this. Let's see, I guess we're going to need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work. I'm sorry, friend. Truly. That makes things considerably more complicated. All right, let's get down to business. Take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Got the key? All right, let's head in. You do the honors. Good work getting that key. Whenever you're ready, let's head inside. After you. The mayor's office is near the entrance of the city. There's a platform that should take you up. If McDonough won't give you the key, try his secretary, Geneva. She's not above taking a bribe. If all else fails, you could try breaking into Geneva's desk. Or maybe the mayor's safe. Just be sure no one sees you. This lock's pretty stubborn, but I'll keep at it. Got a feeling we'll need that key, though. Stubborn lock, ain't it? We can't get through that door. Give that lock a try. Door's locked tight. Why don't you give it a shot? Follow me. Let's check out this house Kellogg left vacant. Kellogg's house is this way. Go ahead. See if you have any luck with that door. Give me a sec. Hold your horses. Come on. Kellogg's house ain't far. Codsworth, you flatter me. You take care of yourself. Hey, you! I don't know who you are, but we got 3 minutes before they realize muscles for brains ain't coming back. Get this door open! Let's get out of here. There's a service ladder that should take us right to the surface. Almost got it. There we are. Hell of a lot easier to do when the lock isn't on the other side. Let's keep moving. We'll talk once we're out. You gonna talk? Why'd you risk everything to find me? I'm just a private eye. You ready to talk? How do you know to find me down in that old vault? Look at that Commonwealth sky. Never thought anything so naturally ominous could end up looking so inviting. This door's on the fritz. Let me see if I can get it open. Malone's crew here used to be small time, muscled out of the old neighborhood by bigger players, until they found this place. Don't know what happened to the previous owners, but they're not exactly around to charge rent. An empty vault. Perfect hideout. More stairs? Who built this damn vault? A fitness instructor? Hold up, I hear some of them coming. Skinny Malone and the rest of his boys are waiting for us somewhere. The name's, ironic, but don't let that fool you. He's dangerous. Nice and quiet. You keep this up, you'll make a name for yourself. Not a good name, mind you, but who cares? Hard and loud, huh? Well, it gets the job done. Too bad for whoever cleans up the floors. There they are. How do you want to play this? You really want to do this here? With these human cockroaches around every corner? I know you have a case you want solved, but underground and surrounded is not the best place to talk. You help me get out of here, and then I'll help you. Another locked door. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, I got it. But I hear big fat footsteps on the other side. Once we step through this door, get ready for anything. Folks around here need the wall. It's a symbol. Something incorruptible, you know? Good on you for helping her. In this spot 200 years ago, one of Eddie's boys gunned down Jenny Lands, my fiancée. Nick's fiancée. You sure you're not part synth? Of course, I guess you wouldn't know, would you? Now, have you got something for me? A pocket full of tapes belonging to an old ghoul, perhaps? We know where your son is, but even I don't know how to find the Institute. And they built me. Traveling with Piper's not for the faint of heart. I'd know. This isn't our first rodeo, pal.
As a last resort, no doubt. Now let's get to business, shall we? What do you know? If this is a joke, you're one sick puppy, Vadim. You really think you got that in you? Hold it, you want to do what? Quite the scrapper, this one. You must have prepared for contingencies like this. That's not something in our control right now. What is fixing this. So what do you know? Because cowards don't stand up for themselves. Good. We'll mop 'em up and have Vadim home in no time. Have you completely gone off your rocker? Don't listen to him. We're all walking out of here today. Believe it or not, we don't have time to just stand here. So much for that plan. You got spunk, kid. That's all that matters. A delicate negotiation isn't the place for strong-arming. Don't listen to that, Travis. You've come a long way. That you're even considering it is bad enough. I don't expect the Institute's going to be thrilled when they find out. You've been hiding this bravado the whole damn time? You don't want to be carrying that kind of weight around for the rest of your days, now do you? Travis, now's not the time to get cold feet. Vadim needs you. Have the two of you utterly lost hold of your senses? Hey, you can do this. As much as it may surprise you, not everyone who walks into your establishment is some kind of goon, Vadim. You aren't getting out that easily. Yeah, out with it, Vadim. Don't beat yourself up, kid. You saw how things turned out last time someone tried to. You were put in a hard spot, but now we're going to fix it. So tell us about this guy. It's not heaven, but these people have carved out a life for themselves. One it sounds like you want to snuff out. Just tell him we're going to make like an atom and split. He can't argue with that now, can he? Sounds like empty rhetoric to me. No war is just but mine. I've seen the kind of damage a super mutant can do with just a board with a nail in it. I'd hate to see what they can do with a nuke. No one brings that much firepower without plans to use it. Good luck, General. I hope you find your son. Have you gone off your rocker? This is not how we operate. It sure as hell ain't going to be taken as a gesture of good faith from the other forces in the Commonwealth. So, you gonna spill the beans? Must be a clue around here somewhere. What you're talking about is going to cost lives. In droves. Hey now, I didn't sign up to be someone else's killbot. A 200-year-old experimental reactor, huh? I'll be sure to inform your next of kin if things go, awry. I'm not sure sitting by the wayside is a luxury we have right now. Super mutants with nuclear weapons? Not going to be able to sleep at night knowing that. I'll follow your lead here, but let's try and keep it light on the zealotry, shall we? Sounds like your parents had some pretty specific aspirations for you. So much for us waltzing out of here. From where I'm standing, Dance isn't seeming like the guilty one here. You wouldn't even fathom letting him live, would you? Can't believe what I'm hearing. No one likes super mutants, but it sounds like you two are advocating genocide. It's not a choice to be made lightly. Yeah, but for who? Seems to me like the mutants were trying to Brotherhood way us right back. Great way to waste an afternoon. Don't be quick to judge. Sometimes folks need some trouble to get them on their feet. Hell of a game. Someone needs to air out all the Commonwealth's dirty laundry. You sure you're remembering that right? Covenant. Never did feel terribly welcome here. Bunker Hill. What it lacks in personality, it makes up for in greed. No wonder it's such a success. I don't know what I find more disturbing. The fact that there's a ship lodged in that building, or that there's still a ship lodged in that building. We going for a dunk? I guess folks will live anywhere. I question the therapeutic value of a place like this. This place is more a museum than home. Well, could have fooled me. Hell of a view from this thing. Certainly gives new meaning to the phrase tourist trap. Huh. Looks like a pretty seaworthy craft hanging up there. I wonder why no one's taken it down. Seems like an awful advanced setup for a civilian, don't you think? Now, at least these boys have some fashion sense. How many masterworks. Lost forever. Sweet dreams, you monster. Say what you will about the ambiance, but you can bet the mutants improved the freshness of the meals in here. Feels like we're walking into the back room of a butcher's.
Well, it looks like this fishing trip didn't go according to plan.
Now, they may have been coffins on wheels, but they sure knew how to build something with style in those days. At least someone's taking care of those bots. You know, from this angle, it doesn't look half bad. Don't even want to fathom how much alcohol was involved making this monstrosity. What kind of monsters? Not what I'd pick for combat attire, but then who am I to talk? Wonder how long that dinghy's been out there. It makes you wonder who would choose this sort of a life. It must be directly under the city by now. It's all right. I'm sure the rocks at the bottom would break your fall. Hopefully that's all the ceiling that decides to crumble. What a waste of good knowledge. Stay. Good kitty. It looks like someone's not interested in uninvited guests. If the patients needed any more reminder what they were missing. Goodness. What happened down here?
Not sure we want to see whatever kind of performances go on here now.
No luxury too great for those at the top. Seem a little too quiet to you out here? I doubt all this was for rehabilitation. I always figured trolls preferred bridges to tunnels. Probably was a real nice setup in its day. That's a lovely place to catch a bullet in the brain. I don't expect this is what the former residents had in mind when it came to owning waterfront property. I'd offer a game, but you probably can't calibrate your arm sensitivity, now can you? My name is Mr. Handy, tidier of things. Look upon this room I said I'd cleaned, and despair. These boys must have had some pretty strict bylaws to need all this. I hate to say it, but they're probably safer in our hands than out there in the wild.
We'd be in a lot better shape with someone like you in our corner.
Chance of survival after a week out there ain't that great for someone not used to roughing it. Not exactly melodic. What a racket. Feel like a walking target out here. Did a decent job locking this down, but if I just... Standard defenses are still up, which likely means... Clever. But I bet you forgot to... Well. Not a shabby set of protocols. This is some serious security. Well, they locked the door tight. But did they leave open a window? After this, what say we find a place with a nice fire to throw these clothes in? Time for the latest round of our Nick sealant still working. Somebody went to a lot of effort to keep folks out of here. They must want to protect something awful precious. Someone was expecting trouble. Or asking for it. I wouldn't drink any of that without a dose of Radex first. Bingo. There we go. It's all yours. Open for business. Looks like whoever was here made off in a hurry. Seems these folks were in a hell of a rush to get out of here. Where'd you people run to? Someone was in here. Wonder if we scared him off. This isn't the kind of place I like to dawdle. I ought to keep moving. We're awful vulnerable here. A bomb could go off in this place and no one would be the wiser. I think they're going to have to forfeit their deposit. Tell me we don't need to find something in here, because that may take a while. Don't know why they bothered encrypting it at all. Child's play. I should have this unlocked in just and no one would pick a password that dumb. Oh, I stand corrected. Now how did you structure? I see. What is this, amateur hour? Oh, now that is clever. But if Yikes, this is some high-grade encryption. These boys weren't fooling around. But let me just try. Goodness, they've got this locked down tighter than a... What on earth? How are they... Oh. Something seem off about this place to you? Why no ghouls in here? Goodness, can barely see in here. Be a lot more pleasant without that thing shining in our faces. Probably not worth taking the stealth approach through here. They maybe want to turn the lights down? Ain't this something? How's a place like this survive out here? Not bad. Quite a locale. Dang. Locked down too tight. Damn. Yeah, sorry. It's not happening. Sorry. Can't bust it.
I think this one's beyond me. I never thought the Minutemen would be a force to be reckoned with again. I stand corrected. That what your parents used to say to you? Let you in, didn't they? Just ignore 'em. Not worth anyone with manners possibly getting hurt. Protector on? That's a new one. Why? Because you wouldn't understand why everyone's laughing again? Always. Hey there. I guess we can add that to the list, then. Lucky for you, I expect the Institute has standards. Don't pay 'em any mind. Not that they'd know what to do with one anyway. If we're running an op for Amari, you gotta spill the beans on what she does for us. He'll find out anyway. If we're running an op for Amari, you gotta spill the beans on what she does for us. He'll find out anyway. Maxon's not going to be pleased. I look forward to seeing that. Dunno. I've seen people eat uglier, though I wish I hadn't. No kiddin'. That's a good-looking crop to boot. Probably worth revisiting any police departments you may have stumbled across in your travels as well. It's probably worth paying a visit to any of the departments you might have stumbled across. Already got the tapes, huh? No foolin'. I guess that's fine. Not like Winter's going anywhere. Once you track 'em all down, you come see me. Will you look at that? Deacon. You two taking care of some official business? You two watch yourselves out there. Well, then get comfy, big guy, 'cause I ain't checking out any time soon. Well. Weapon over here. Could do some damage with what's in here. I guess someone forgot their stash in here. A bunch of drugs in here. Some water in here if you need it. There's water in here. Hey, you need some water? Over here. Hey, there's ammo in this one. Well, now we know where they store their ammo. I found some ammo over here. Hey, come look at this. I think you're going to want to go through this. Inside you got, now what's this? Hello? What are you hiding? Locked up tight. Got any picks? It's locked. Damn, locked. Arms over here. Hey, armor in this one. Well, that might do the trick. Armor in here. Armor over here. You need some stims? Found some over here. Some stims here. Couple of stim packs over here. Some chems in here. There's some food in this one. You need some grub? Take a look in here. Hey, stuff in here looks edible. There's some hooch in here. Some liquor in this one. All odds and ends in this one. Just a bunch of junk in here. Hey, you think you could use this? I can't tell if this was storage or trash. Yeah, and we wouldn't want to do anything to upset the Institute, would we? Booze in here. Have you talked to Ellie? She'll want to thank you for saving yours truly. Guess Marty never quite made it. Don't worry, pal. We'll close this one out for you. So, Shem Drown had himself buried with all his treasure. Guess some people just can't let go. A little bloodthirsty, are we? Fortunately, you picked the right town. Time to hit the road again? Get back to the hunt for Eddie Winter? Oh, and don't worry about helping with Eddie Winter. You've done enough already. Look, no one had more reason to dislike the Brotherhood than me, but this? Wiping them out? And the railroad? It's hard to even wrap your head around. A world without the Institute, lurking in the shadows. But that's the life the people of the Commonwealth will get to lead now. All thanks to you. It's just not the sort of thing most folks could handle, changing the face of the Commonwealth forever. I guess I'll add it to the growing list of things you've got wrong. Taking down the Brotherhood? The railroad? Well, there were a lot of questions I was hoping the Institute could answer, but I've already made it this far without 'em. I think I'll manage. They really have gotten their claws into you, haven't they? You'll get no argument from me. Sure. But we both know without you, none of this would have ever been possible. After what you've done, I don't expect that's going to be an issue. You know, I dare say you've done enough. Won't hear any argument from me. Well, aren't we lucky you showed to do the deed? Look, I know as well as anyone living in the Commonwealth's no picnic. But this? The Brotherhood, the railroad, preserving humanity? That's what we're calling taking out the Brotherhood? The railroad? This is a brave new world you've ushered in. But I suppose it'll do. Thanks to you. All those lives lost. For what? So a group of mad scientists can keep plundering the Commonwealth to their heart's content? Is that truly the world you want to live in? You know, since the first time we met, I'd always got the sense that you were going to change this place. I just never expected it'd be like this. I ain't thrilled to see the folks who gave me the boot coming out on top, but this is bigger than that. And the people of the Commonwealth slept soundly, for the greatest monster was gone. It took a lot of guts to push that button. I know it couldn't have been easy, and the people of the Commonwealth slept soundly, for the greatest monster was gone. It took a lot of guts to do what you did. I know it couldn't have been easy. So, you want to tell me why you did it? Why you sided with those boogeymen? Couple of sources saying that you were the one leading the Institute attack on the Pridwin. So, you want to tell me why you did it? Why you sided with those boogeymen? I knew dog meat would sniff our man out. Let's you and I take it from here, give our four-legged friend a break. Freedom Trail rolls through some rough territory. Suppose that guarantees any new railroad applicants can hold their own. The railroad in the flesh. I always figured there had to be some truth to all those spook stories. Bringing down the Pridwin's gonna cost a lot of lives. I suppose a strongly worded letter's probably out of the question at this point. Bringing down the Institute with its own synths. Almost poetic, isn't it? The world's a safer place with those nukes out of mutant hands. Now we just have to worry about what the Brotherhood's going to do with them. Not that I'd ever speak ill of my fellow bot, but I don't think another war machine is what the Commonwealth needs right now. A bona fide agent of the railroad. What say we go help out some synths? This place is built like a vault. Must have been a hell of a scrap when the Institute dug the railroad out of here. There's only one reason the railroad's still here, and that's you. Brotherhood's not exactly known for embracing new technology with open arms. Guess that means I shouldn't ask for a hug, then, inviting the Brotherhood to our doorstep. I'm getting the feeling we just cracked the lid on Pandora's box. The Brotherhood has some pretty strong feelings on technology's place in the world. Hoping that's not a sentiment you share. Paladin Dance was a loyal soldier. Finding out he was a synth, that man must be going through hell right now. What happened back there? Dance deserved better than that, and you know it. So, Dance lives another day and gets to take his leave of the Brotherhood. I'd call that a win on all accounts. All I can think is, why? Honestly, how much of a threat could a dozen or so people in a church pose to the mighty Brotherhood? You better get to know the major players here in town. Good neighbors where the filth washes up, which means it always has what you need. If I start cackling like an old grizzled mercenary, pull me out, okay? There's a lot of flashes. Static. I can't make sense of any of it, Doc. Yeah, if a smart mouth was all it took to solve problems, we would have found your son by now. See you on the other side. I know it's asking for a miracle, Omari, but you've pulled off the impossible before. Let's see what Omari is up to. Follow me. We're here. We just got to talk to Omari. Should talk to Omari. Show her the brain. Talk to Omari. I can feel that implant jostling around back there. You and Omari better figure this out. I don't want to have this implant stuck there forever. Talk to Omari. Let's get this show on the road. Sit down if you're ready. Let's do this. Be careful when you're cruising through Kellogg's mind. I'm hooked up to it, after all. Memory simulations can feel like you're free falling all the time. Hope you're ready. Yeah, I'm fine. Why? What?
What are you talking about?
I'm a synth, so radiation isn't much of an issue for me, but an old suit of power armor might just be the guardian angel you're looking for. That, or you could buy up all the Rad-X and Rad-Away you can find from any chem dealer who's got it in stock.
Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
Did I?
Amari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Been one heck of a ride so far. Let's see where it takes us next. Or I could head back to Diamond City, since you've got company already. If you say so. I told you I'm fine. But I get it. Going through Kellogg's brain was a doozy for both of us. I'll be in Diamond City when you've had time to cool off. You all right? You seem a bit pale. I guess that's for you to wonder, and for me and Kellogg's memories to know for sure. Good luck out there. You know where to find me.
Don't know if Kellogg was the kind of guy to take notes, but there's a lot of old computer terminals here. Hey, you see that projection over there? That's some kind of hologram? This is the place. Kellogg's somewhere inside. Front entrance is boarded up. Maybe there's another way in? Our man is in there somewhere. Dog Meat did a heck of a job. Kellogg's in there. Somewhere.
Get hit in the head? I can relate. Waiting on you. What's with the hard look? Say something. The silent routine isn't getting us anywhere.
We're still on track. Hopefully he's not much further.
And all the way across town is the Hotel Rexford, run by Morosky. Used to be the biggest chip in the pile before someone knocked over his chem operation. Close by, we've got Bobby No-Nose in her gang. Small-town operator, big-town brains. She's always recruiting for the next big job. If you're ever low on caps and don't mind where the money comes from, look her up. Then we've got the Third Rail, dirtiest drinks in the Commonwealth, but a great place to meet mercs and other unsavory contacts. Good music, too.
Not many clues there.
Careful. Andrew Station's known for having its fill of gun-toting scumbags.
Trust me, that dame knows a lot more than she lets on. And she lets on a lot.
If I know her, she's done her homework. And we need to talk this through with someone. We're in the weeds here. Time to take a step back. Bring in some fresh eyes. Only person I know willing to snoop up the Institute's tail feathers is Piper, the reporter in Diamond City. I say we head her way, talk this through. Hey, chin up. I know the night just got darker, but it won't last forever.
Look, I know it feels like a shot in the heart, but this case isn't closed. Not while I'm on it.
Besides, you already have plenty of company. We can't all go sniffing through the Commonwealth after one man. All right, I'll see you in Diamond City, and don't worry. The night just got darker, but it can't last forever.
You want to know the truth? The sad thing is I have no idea. None of us do. You think they'd cut me loose if I had something on 'em?
Got 'em!
Hey, they're back. Couldn't stay away, huh?
There you are. If you don't have any on you, some Rad-Away would be a sound investment about now.
You're looking a little gray. What do you say we get you to a doctor?
Light admitting isn't a great look on you. Maybe we should see the doc.
Oh, that's a lot of coolant. It'll take more than that. We're not done here.
I know I heard something. Detection system must be on the fritz. I guess it's safe. For now. Guess I should stop putting off that detection calibration. Whatever it was, it's gone now. It's like watching a conductor at the orchestra. Aptly done.
If they didn't want it opened, they should have bought a better lock, huh?
Sorry, can't do it.
That's not something I'd do.
Yeah, if I were able. Can't be done.
How about we try something else? Well, look who it is. Thought the Commonwealth might have finally gotten you. You want to hit the road?
That's it! I need you to listen. Now. Hey, listen up. I'm not planning to say this again. So, you ready to hear me out? Hey, can we talk? You got time to talk now? You got a second to chat? I'd really like to get this out of the way, so can we talk? Can we talk as, well, let's talk.
I need you to listen. Hey, we need to talk. We need to talk about how this is going. Things can't keep going like this. Stop. Now. We'll be taking that. Not doing them much good at this point. Hey, toss anything you can't haul my way. I can barely tell us apart.
Don't let all that horsepower go to your head.
I always wondered what you'd look like as a robot. Not too shabby. My leg's pretty mangled. Damn, I can't move my leg. Hey, you find any pieces of my leg, you grab 'em. Yeah, smart play. Everyone walks away with dignity and internals intact. It's real easy to lose your cool in a situation like that. Well done. Tough gal throws a punch. A smart gal never needs to. You got a keen eye for self-preservation. Oh, is that your game now? Picking pockets?
You know, I don't think they look too kindly on pickpockets around here. Well, anywhere.
What did you think you're doing? Unless you're hounding for a green suntan, I suggest we get a move on.
You a Geiger counter doing cartwheels, too?
We're sucking down a lot of rads sticking around here. Watch yourself. Take cover. Look out.
There.
Speak of the devil. Look who it is. Not exactly subtle, pal. Guess we're not alone. You ought to be damned ashamed of yourself. I don't care if you meant to or not. There's no recourse for taking an innocent life. Have you lost your mind? What could they have possibly done to deserve that?
That kind of bull really fly where you come from?
No way on earth. Did you hit your head repeatedly?
I'd like not to have to say this again. No.
Out of the question. You nuts? Stick your landing. Yeah, there's got to be a better way down. And do your folks proud. That is a real stand-up move. Dog meat find something? Dog meat pick up the scent again? I'm telling you, that nose is second to none. Kellogg must have stopped here. Search around, see if we can pick up the trail. Looks like another one of Kellogg's pit stops. Keep your eyes open. All right, dog meat's found something. You know the drill. Damn. Hell of a party happened here. We're getting close. I can feel it. Look around. Check the fence, the bushes. Maybe we get lucky and something of Kellogg's got caught. You hear that? One of those tin cans is still kicking. Dog meat's lost the trail. We need something for him to go on. Look around. Anything could be a clue. Something Kellogg threw away from his rations. Anything. Mercs tend to be creatures of habit. Remember all that stuff in Kellogg's room? If Kellogg had a favorite brand of cigars and beer, I bet you he'd take some with him on the road. Think Kellogg stayed here for a while? Why? Maybe he had a wound and needed nursing. Dog meat's stubborn. He'll find our man. Remember, keep your eyes open. You've come real far, pal. You can bet it's a new day for you now. We're trying to give everyone a fair shake here. So let's all just calm down now. Yeah, what Maxon's asking, it isn't just. Killing always takes its toll on the killer. I'd know. We can't do this without you, Doctor. I don't think we're in the kind of position to be able to turn away help against the Institute. You may not like the Brotherhood, but the people of the Commonwealth shouldn't have to suffer for it. Maxon? Man's a lunatic. You really gonna leave them to swing in the wind like that? Well, if they were going for ominous, they nailed it. If you're looking to do some salvage, you come to the right place. Not sure they're taking new wards, but for us, they might make an exception. Vault 81. Friendliest vault in all the Commonwealth. Because here they don't shoot on sight. A 200-year-old submersible, huh? Hey, what could go wrong? Trinity Tower. 30 stories of super mutants. When the Minutemen lost this place, the Commonwealth knew they were done. It's like painting a huge sign on their front door. Rob me. Would you be able to tell a beryllium agitator if it hit you in the face? Nothing but a tomb for old spooks. Could have a hell of a weekend with all this. Guess he thought this was the only way out. Shame. They really would do anything to avoid walking back then, wouldn't they? Always a market for folks who want to forget the world. I expect all the blood in here's a recent addition.
Lose the gun-toting psychopaths, and this would be my kind of joint. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dame, Skinny. You ought to tell her to write home more often. I guess security wasn't high on their priority list. Shouldn't be too much trouble. These folks weren't playing around. Some serious subroutines running on this box, but maybe... Got it. Don, it's not going to budge. You certainly know your way around machines, don't you? If you ever want a hand, though, all you got to do is ask.
Never been too shabby at cracking terminals myself.
Say the word if you want me to take a look at that terminal. If it's giving you trouble, I could give that terminal a look. Hey, lend you a hand with that terminal? All you got to do is ask. I wouldn't expect a warm reception.
No! Damn it, Danny! Don't listen! Hang in there!
Hell of a view.
Well, I don't think it's a mole rat. Never thought I'd get to affect the future of the Commonwealth so directly.
I'm gonna take a lot of elbow grease to clean this place up.
And that was the day the Commonwealth knew the Minutemen were back.
Just how many of these did they need? Almost makes Diamond City's reactor look quaint. But you can bet the view will be killer. Super mutants sure make it easy to forget they were ever human. Now, this feels like home. A lot of my cases dead end in Boston Common. I'd prefer not to join them. I can't believe what I'm looking at. You know, the detective life is a lot less glamorous than the comics had led me to believe. 4 of the most important walls in the Commonwealth.
The underbelly of the combat zone. Not sure it gets seedier than this.
Let's hope they don't mistake us for ghouls. Sure could make a lot of hooch back here. Or the park ranger. Master of all he surveys. The Pharaoh set up a franchise way out here? I think it's lost some of its romance over the past 2 centuries. Guess all these folks just missed the bombs, didn't they? Lucky them. There's likely a damn good reason that bot's still intact.
Sure made a mess of this place, didn't they?
This thing's been on a loop for as long as I can remember. No wonder folks in this neighborhood are irritable. How far down do you think it goes? The raiders around here are awful sour for having such a pleasant view. Seems awful risky hiding out on the top floor of a skyscraper. The only quick escape is a jump. Oh, what year is it in here? I bet meetings like this sure made life down here easier. There really is no way to ride a seesaw with dignity. Well, that ought to keep the Mirelurks away for a while. That is going to stain. When did it get this quiet? We stumble into a library? What's with the sudden silence? I don't hear a peep. And now I'm wondering, why? These old terminals can be real finicky. If you ask nice, I bet I could get it to spill its guts. You know I'm fluent in uncooperative old machine. You want me to give that terminal a look? Want me to take a crack at that terminal?
You know, I can probably make that terminal talk for you, if you ask nicely.
I got a pretty good track record cracking those old things. You want me to take a swing at that terminal?
You say the word, I'll take a crack at that terminal for you.
If I got the chills, this would be the place to provide 'em.
This place could give a mutant nightmares.
This is one grim locale. I'm not the queasy sort, but for this, I'll make an exception. Before this gets cleaned up, I guess someone would have to be willing to touch it. Words don't do this place justice, though Condemned starts to get at it.
Looks like we could catch a breather in here. Could really kick your feet up in a place like this. You can probably put the gun away. I think we're safe here.
That train's getting juice. I can barely see a thing.
Who killed the lights? Hey, you still there? Can't see a damn thing.
Looks like the last time I got a checkup in here. Spared no expense, did they? Took some bright minds to build a place like this. Ugh, what the hell aroma is that? Yeah, whatever they're aging in here, I think it's gone too long. Something is rotten in here. When was the last time someone came through here?
So, this is what 2 centuries without a good dusting looks like.
Talk about collecting dust.
I can barely hear a thing in here. Yeah, that's real good to hear. Well, I just wanted to check in. You ever need anything, You stop by the office.
I'm sorry you feel that way. But if you ever change your mind, I'll be more than happy to help you bring Buddy home.
Yeah, still at it. Well, I just wanted to say hi, make sure you're doing all right. You take care now. Look, I found your doll. Now, I don't want to have to do this again. You just get me what you owe, all right? Please? You know I'm a bit busy, but next free moment I've got, it's yours. Send everyone my best. Would that I could, but we're on a job at the moment. Just wanted to check in. You take care. Gonna have to take a rain check, but next time. Stay well. Not today, but soon. Detective's honor. You keep out of trouble.
He's got a point. Well, at least she went down swinging. Entrance to the station's right over there. Let's not keep Eddie waiting. I just need some time to process all this. You mind if we get out of here? This is it. Let's not keep Eddie waiting. Well, you're on your own now, toots. Afternoon. Morning. Evening. In this spot, 200 years ago, one of Eddie's boys put a bullet in Jenny Land's back. Now Eddie's as dead as Jenny. And Nick. I'm at a loss. Got a real good head on those shoulders. Nasty cannibals. What, no love for your fellow machine?
Piper, I wouldn't know who else to tell. Don't worry, Kate, I will. Cute McReady. You come up with that all on your own? Believe it, bucko. Now, isn't there someone else you should be irritating? I guess death finally laughed back for Marty. They're all gone. You know, there's another chunk of Nick Valentine's history I've been hoping to put a bow on for a while now. I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it. Let's go talk to Amari. Here's to a beautiful partnership. Let me pull out my files. Goodness. Did Marty really try and get through all this on his own? Lord knows Vadim samples his own wares enough that some weird behavior wouldn't make anyone bat an eyelash. No, this all screams accident. Now, what was Earl into that might have gotten him in this kind of trouble? You know, for all the talk, I'd put the chances of this being an Institute snatch job somewhere between 0 and none. Just think about it. So where's that leave us? No known enemies. Wasn't much for the great outdoors, so likely not raiders or mutants. Someone who could get you what you want. Earl could barely get you a drink by closing on a busy night, and Earl had lousy people skills. Might score the Institute some points in the last person you'd ever suspect category. But why not snatch someone with charm? Take a seat. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Let's go over your case. Take a seat. Looks like Ellie wants to say something to you. These old buildings and alleyways give you a lot of opportunities to hide if things get bad, but that goes both ways. Always keep your eyes out and your head on a swivel. Things can go from calm to deadly in a heartbeat. Good job. That bastard won't be hurting anyone else. We should take a look around, get all the intel this place can hide. I wonder what Kellogg was up to before we dropped in on him. You think Kellogg was planning something big here? Or maybe this is just where he'd hide to lick his wounds. Kellogg definitely had some connections, no doubt about that. I hate to say this, but we should probably check the body.
All right, wise guy, keep your secrets. All right, doll, keep your secrets. You really don't know? I'm a synthetic man. All the parts, minus a few red blood cells. I got built, I got old, I got tossed. Then I opened up that little agency in Diamond City, and turns out people have plenty of problems to solve. Keep talking, meathead. It'll give Skinny Malone more time to think about how he's going to bump you off. She did. I should give her a raise. You going to talk?
That order can only be given by Railroad Prime. Malden PD ain't far from here. Want to see if they've got any Eddie Winter memorabilia? So, Kellogg wasn't giving us any bull. Your son really is on the inside. Even I don't know where the Institute is, and they built me.
Talk about a literal dead end, huh? What can I say, Piper? You, me, and hard luck all seem to run together like acid rain down an old sewer.
We'll meet up at public occurrences. Don't worry, we'll get help. Just head to Diamond City. Yeah, if only. Well, aren't you handy? You do trench coats? Well, that should keep you safe. You do contract negotiations? Seems like you'd be making a lot more dough. You all right? Looked like you caught the brunt of that with your face. All right, focus. Stay with me now. You're gonna be fine, but you're gonna want to take a stim. Now. Whatever you need. Never hurts to help. I didn't think there was much kindness to spare these days. Glad to be wrong. Well, look at you. Why would you fill yourself with that junk? I wouldn't have picked you for the bullying type. You really think they deserve that sort of disrespect? Yeah, good haul. Not a bad take. A helping is its own reward. But it doesn't keep the lights on. On the upside, that's gonna leave one hell of a scar. I didn't think arms bent that way. Go on. I'm listening. Go ahead. Done and done. Good plan. Well, you sure sleuthed that one out quick. There any machines you can't charm? It's all right, boy. I'll take it from here. You'd be surprised the sort of useful things some folks will toss in the garbage. One more piece before Liberty Prime's unleashed on the Commonwealth. I hope you're prepared for what's to come. The Brotherhood may have been zealots, but did they deserve this? Storming Bunker Hill. The Institute doesn't care who they hurt to get what they want, do they? The Brotherhood versus the Institute. Hard to tell who's the lesser evil here. The Institute's recruitment process leaves something to be desired. It's about time the Minutemen reclaimed the castle. These folks could use a victory. Ugh. Can you believe that stench? Maybe we should have just let the Mirelurks keep the castle. Suppose we know why no one else has managed to reclaim the castle before now. But taking down Mother Mirelurk was a sight to behold. That's some serious firepower you've set up. God help anyone who takes on the Minutemen now. Present for you! I guess they got wise and bolted. Looks like they flew the coop. Here's hoping they stay gone. And good riddance. Ugh. Oh, shit. Ugh, got me good. Breaking and entering around here is a fast way to end up in a shallow grave. You think they're gone for good? Damn, I got nothing. If synths were meant to fly, they would have built us with wings, which would have been nice. You don't see a lot of vertibirds in this kind of shape. You know, airborne. Flying around in a 200-year-old aircraft? What could go wrong? Not another way around, huh? I wouldn't swallow any of this if I were you. Look who's back. You get caught pilfering around here, you don't get thrown in the pen. You get thrown in a grave. Hey, you trying to get us in trouble? You got guts. Well, had guts. Should have just run. You're in for it now. Yeah, that's one way to get the coolant pumping. Coast looks clear. Cleaned house. They won't be bothering anybody now. Anyone you walk away from. Didn't even break a sweat. Not that it's an option. So long! Always there when I need you. Do everything I can. Wherever the trail takes us. I'll be here as long as you'll have me. Got something else? See? All better, boy. You're gonna be just fine, boy. We can find more stems. There's only one dog meat. You're in for it now. I hope you were smarter than this. Now you got problems. You can still run. You're playing with the wrong synth. Welcome to your last stand. Watch it. Blood bugs. Filthy flying blood packs. That's one ticked-off dino. Shouldn't you be extinct? Don't fire till you see the whites of their eye stalks. There's a new king in town. Careful, these kings like to serenade their supper. Walking sacks of plague. Watch for the charge. Get behind it if you can. Overweight buckets of slag. If you've been saving a pulse grenade, now'd be a good time. We're nobody's dinner tonight. Someone's gonna have to dig you one big hole. Sorry, friends. Don't start what you can't finish. Hate to put you down. Quite the free spirit, aren't you? Hey, you, forget something? That's real big of you. Quite the do-gooder, aren't you? Not enough people standing up for what's good these days. You got a piss-poor negotiation style, you know that? I'm going to keep him company. Make sure our escape routes stay available. I think it's classically pronounced no. Unless you're looking to get a gut full of lead, I'd sample the sea air somewhere other than Libertalia. What is it now? What do you need? Something up? Go ahead. Looks like you got something to say. There's something bothering you? You're not dying on our watch. Watch your step. Hope you brought your can opener. Huh. So this is where they filmed that god-awful TV show. You think these workers got to join the folks in the vault? A nasty way to go. Dress looks pre-war. Easy to forget folks didn't have it so good back then, either. People have been down here. Recently. It's a little disheartening that this is one of the nicest places we've been. Doesn't look like the Mirelurks made it down here. Now, why do you think that is? I didn't know my temperature sensors went this high. Even after all these years, it still feels sacred. Guess Mirelurks aren't picky tenants. Must have been one hell of a disagreement to merit all this. Someone made a real mess of you, didn't they? Sure tore this place to shreds, didn't they? From the look of it, I don't think this one even got his last stand. Just crawled up here and died. So, anyone ask about me down there in the Institute? Hey, big guy. Don't eat this one, all right? You two go do the Commonwealth proud. Dance. I'll keep out of trouble if she does. Yeah, that is if you're still interested in traveling together. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted some time on your own after all this. I think I could suffer through it. You sure know how to make a synth feel welcome. I just need to find the other 9 and bring them to me. Come on, let's get out of here. And hey, thanks. Oh, yeah, don't mention it. Just glad to see you made something of yourself, I suppose. Think we're just gonna go. Anything I can lug for you? There's still someone alive under all that gear? Time to hit the road? So, the Brotherhood got their war machine. Let's hope they use it wisely. And sparingly. A synth taking up in Libertalia. I suppose some folks will do anything to get away from the Institute. Your little broadcast has got a lot of people scared. Can't even keep the Institute out of our homes now. There weren't a lot of folks willing to stand up for the synths of the Commonwealth. And now there's none. Walking away from a fight with a deathclaw is no small feat. Nicely done. Doubt the Mirelurks had any interest in whatever was in this armory Ronnie's describing. Maybe we'll get lucky and find something worth salvaging. Not a bad haul. Ronnie's weapons should keep the Minutemen armed to the teeth for the foreseeable future. Well, it's hard to mistake this mug for anyone else. Ellie? Are you here? Not as long as I got a few friends to back me up. Why? Someone stand you up? And that's just how good neighbor is. Always something cooking. Always another angle to play. So, you rethink helping me take down Winter? Any chance you've rethought helping me close out some Nick Valentine history? Dog meat find something? Dog meat pick up the scent again? I'm telling you, that nose is second to none. Dr. Amari? We need a memory dig, Amari, but it's not going to be easy. The perp, Kellogg, is already cold on the floor. Sounds good. You two stay out of trouble. We need a deep dig, Amari, but it's not going to be easy. The perp, Kellogg, is already cold on the floor. Ah, Faneuil Hall. Cradle of Liberty turned slaughterhouse. Think you ought to see this. Hey, come take a look at this. You seeing what I'm seeing over here? Nothing over here. No one knew Earl better than these folks. Ought to ask around, see what people know. Anything else you remember? Lock's too stubborn for me. Why don't you give it a try? Go ahead, try the door. See if you can't get that door to open. See if you can get that door open. I owe you for getting me out of that vault. Talk to Ellie. She handles all the finances around here. Let's talk when we get to my office. Don't worry. Once we get to my office, your case is my top concern. Let's get to my office. We'll go over your case there. Good to see you, too, Myrna. And I'm not the one shopping here. My friend is. Despite the mayor's bragging, it really is the most secure settlement around, even if it comes with a few uptight guards. Traveling in the Commonwealth as long as I have, you learn a few things. Diamond City is as close to safe as you can get in these parts. Security keeps the perimeter under control, but it's always a struggle. So the Institute was the puppet master all along. Damn! Even I don't know where they are. And they built me. We should look around. Let's search around, see what Kellogg was up to. Keep looking. Want to make sure we don't leave any stone unturned. We're close. I can almost smell that old Merc's cigars. Remember, Kellogg's a professional. He won't make it easy. We survived this. I owe you a stiff drink. An old military fort. Not a bad place to operate from. Plenty of security. Keep your guard up. He might try to ambush us.
Really? I saw him writing your name down in that black book of his. Lousy, cheating card shark, I think were his exact words. Then he struck the name across 3 times.
Ah, my knight in shining armor. Question is, why does he come all this way, risk life and limb for an old private eye?
Now, you mentioned something about your son, Sean, and how he went missing. Hey, you! I don't know who you are, but we got 3 minutes before old Muscles for Brains comes back. Get this door open! Really? Well, I'm glad those ways included shooting down mobsters. Wasn't looking forward to haunting that place. I appreciate it. But a good Samaritan in these parts is liable to end up on the wrong side of a loaded gun. I should know.
Hope that's not going to be a problem, because there's not much I can do about it if it is. Now, since you know about me, why don't you return the favor? What brought you out all this way?
That's right. Synthetic man. All the parts, minus a few red blood cells. I got built. I got old. I got tossed. Then I opened up my detective agency, and it turns out people got problems that need solving.
The Precinct 8 lockup used to be like a second home to Eddie Winter's thugs. Eddie Winter used to put his thugs up in Natick when they got in trouble. Seems the place has always been filled with monsters. Well, look at this. All of a Merc's favorite things. Well, that's one way to hide a room. Why don't you search that table? Then we'll compare notes. Check out what's on that table. Well, look at that. All of Kellogg's favorite things. Look at me. I'm trash. They threw me in the junk pile ages ago. Just another discarded prototype. Didn't exactly leave me the house keys. No, I skipped that part of the orientation film while they were busy pulling me apart and putting me back together again. I'll meet you in Diamond City. Where's your son? What happened? Now you've done it. We need to get you to a doc. I guess you finally found out how many's too many. You look like you just crawled out of a good neighbor gutter.
Not like this.
You got a real knack for that.
What's that?
I don't think we're alone. Hey, I thought I saw something.
Someone's coming.
There's something out there.
A little extra to cover incidentals. You're quite the operator.
If I got it.
Looking for something?
You got a thing for antiques, huh?
Well, ain't that a blast from the past? Sure don't make 'em like they used to. Thanks, I needed a little tune-up. And that's how they put Nick together again. Just what I needed. Can't keep the engine running if you give it the wrong fuels.
Using that garbage is a quick way to end up in the hospital. Or the morgue.
I'm going to run some diagnostics while you're tinkering. Take your time. That's a nice little setup. Wouldn't mind one of these at the agency. Try not to sever anything you might miss. Making friends doesn't rank real high on your priorities, does it? Guess we weren't all programmed with manners. You're not going to ingratiate yourself to anyone acting like that. You'd be able to buy a mean cup of noodles for that. My fee's normally 10% off the top, but since we're pals, I know you can afford 12.
Damn. Lost 'em.
Yeah, we'll snoop 'em out. Can't have gone far.
Now, where'd you get to? You see him?
Don't worry, it's still attached. Well, mostly.
What's the plan? I'm all ears.
Yeah, so long as you're carrying it.
You building a collection or something?
No accounting for taste.
Sure thing. Can do. Count on it. Dog meat, is he all right? Hey, dog meat's hurt. Damn. You have any stems? Dog meat's hurt.
Damn! You see any more?
Whoa! Are you all right?
If you hear more beeping, it's not me.
Grenade! Seems they skipped town.
Not enough folks value keeping the old CPU sharp anymore. Battles are won with fists. Wars with wits. So much knowledge was lost when the bombs hit. It's good to see someone trying to bring it back. Oh, damn! That it? If you think this is the best way to proceed. Anyone asks, just say you lost your keys.
I'd spend a lifetime trying to track one of those down.
Huh. I never thought I'd see one in person.
If you decide you don't want it, you can give it here. Now, where'd you go? They're here somewhere. We playing hide and seek? Hey, there's a time and a place for that, and neither's here.
I can't tell if your aim is horrific or spectacular. Either way, knock it off.
You trying to get someone killed?
Sooner or later, decisions like that come back to bite you. Keep behaving like that, you're going to have to start watching your own back. Well, you keep inviting trouble, it's going to pay you a visit. What, you suddenly decide you don't have enough scars? I'm not cleaning up whatever pile of mush you're aiming to get yourself smashed into.
You sure we're not going to need that? Hey, you dropped something. Huh. We must be doing pretty well if you're willing to leave that behind.
Oh, I thought there'd be more benefits to a metal skull. Ow! My head.
Shit. Come on, Optics. Don't fail me now.
That sure doesn't look like it came in with us.
You don't have to do this. You really want this to be the last mug you see? Lights out for you. This how you imagined you'd go? Dumb move. I'll be doing the world a service. What else you got?
You did good. Think that's the last of them. You all right? I won't underestimate us again.
Just when I thought we were getting along.
I got you covered. You just see to that leg.
I wouldn't put too much weight on that leg until you've tended to it.
Don't try to run. Just look after that leg.
Here you go! Rah! Say hello to your maker! If it isn't my favorite former icicle.
Every armament is a chance to do right or wrong. That thing looks like it could do a lot of either. Hey, just watch where you're pointing that thing. Hey, remind me to stay on your good side.
Anything more? And what else you got?
That all?
All right, then.
I always preferred something with a nice high octane myself.
Whew. Can smell that from here. Bottoms up.
Damn arm. Fine, we'll do this with the other hand. Ugh! Gonna take a while to put that back together.
Your funeral. Here they come. Shouldn't take long. This doesn't have to be the day you die. So long, pal.
Damn bloat flies.
What I wouldn't give for some industrial-strength pesticide. I guess asking for a date's out of the question at this point. These gals pack a wallop. Give a bowling ball an attitude and you get an eyebot. Waste a good circus. Wait, these aren't Oh, no. Definitely ferals. Sorry, folks, won't be chewing on us. Took one too many orders. Prefer 'em armed with feather dusters. Watch it. Lurks on the loose. Guess that makes us the rat traps. Robo-butler on the warpath. And not even worth wasting a pulse weapon on. Someone call for exterminators? One less pest. Nothing needs that many limbs. I didn't think I could still get to Willie's. That is one mad bug. You watch yourself. Poison doesn't bother me. You got this one, right? Now I know what a gnat feels like. These are the super mutants? Feel bad for the mediocre ones. Appreciate the big target. Not exactly tacticians, are they? Looks like they've got automated defenses. Chin off the floor. Turrets. Damn mutts. Play dead. How can something that sickly move that quick? Yao Guai, move!
Someone could make a statue out of you like that. Abstract, ideally.
I It's good to be back in Diamond City. This place has a kind of song to it. You listen, you can hear people's lives and problems as they rush on by. Night is when the green jewel feels the most honest. Bright lights, but a lot of shadows. Yeah, what is it?
It's not easy to do the right thing for something that seems so evil. But everyone deserves their fair shot.
We can't blame ourselves. That man decided to die. Drop the weapon, Doc. Haven't enough people suffered today? Let's not do anything rash.
It doesn't have to shake out like this.
Probably best to keep your eyes on the folks shooting at us. On the upside, we can probably use the dark to get the drop on these bots.
Out with it.
You totally lost it? You're agreeing to kill a man, a brother. Thanks, but no thanks. Hey, this is Jamaica Plain. Stay sharp. A lot of raiders end up here looking for that lost treasure. I always had a way with machines. You want me to take a look at that terminal? You just say the word.
Sorry, boss. This one's beyond me. I'm locked out of this one. This one requires a password, I'm afraid. No dice. You're gonna need a password for this one. Nope. All right. Let's try a slightly different approach. Sure, that was gonna do it. Let's see about this. Not that either. What do you want? Say your piece. You got something to say to me? Do I want to hear what's about to come out of your mouth? Gotta bother me, huh? What is it? What could you possibly need now? Make it quick. I'll go on. Talk.
Do something for you?
Anything I can help with? Something to get off your chest? You all right? You need something? Something I can do? Got something for me? Well, don't keep me in suspense. Need something? All you gotta do is ask.
See? Gonna be right as rain. I don't see any remains down here. You think this thing actually worked?
Well, it's certainly in better shape than I expected. Thank God.
That's enough to get a super mutant hammered.
Bet this place helped a lot of people in its day.
No blast burns on the plane. Plenty of foreign rubble nearby. The nukes didn't take this down. That highway did. What to think? Such a valuable relic. Nearly lost to the ages.
Goodness. Mind your fire down here. Couple of stray bullets and this whole place could go up.
Yeah, looks like there's some choice salvage here. Bet they put on some wild shows with all this stuff up here. Leave it to raiders to ruin a lovely stroll. The heart of the beast. That's a damn shame. At least it looks like they died peacefully. What have we here?
Looks like there was quite the scuffle in here. No blood. No sign of gunfire. Have you been up here since the bombs?
Imagine having to hear this all day long. My God! This place must have been massive in its heyday. Tidy joint. I feel bad tracking my muck through this place.
It's almost like the war never even happened in here. Almost. Wow. Someone cared for this place, that's for sure. Well, hey there. Been a long time. How you holding up?
Excuse me, I just wanted to stop by. Offer my services again.
Pardon me, I'm sorry to bother you, but remember me? You. You and I need to talk.
Yeah, would you look at this sorry sack of skin? Well, well. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? That who I think it is? Now there's a face I didn't plan on seeing again any time soon. I wouldn't want you to have to disobey orders. Maxon murdered that man, and we did nothing. So this is the sort you're taking up with now?
Heading out with Kate, huh? Hope you know what you're getting into.
Don't let this one boss you around too much, Codsworth.
Oh, I'm sure you say that to all the junk in the scrap heap. Ah, Deacon. We'll keep our eyes peeled. You just make sure your folks all keep doing the same, all right?
Suit yourself. Guess I'll head on home. Well, glad to hear it. Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, Marty and I never exactly saw eye to eye. Mostly because he was usually passed out on the barroom floor. I've been meaning to put Earl's case to bed for a while now. Glad you're up for it.
I guess we ought to give her the news.
Well, what have we here?
I'll start in here. Why don't you check out the living room?
Must be some hint where that boy ran off to. A receipt from the Mega Surgery Center, huh? I wonder what the good doctors have to say about that. Well, good afternoon to you, too. Trust me, friend, neither me nor the machine wins out in that transaction. Why? You jealous you had to turn yours in? Not much of a sight yourself. From you folks, I wouldn't know where to look. You did right. Drinking that, huh? Braver than I. Appreciate it. Anything useful? Suppose someone should make use of it. Wouldn't want it going to waste now, would we? Not getting anywhere till you toss something. I think it's time you ditched some gear. Should probably leave something behind. Wonder if Nahant PD had any good dirt on Eddie Winter. East Boston was contraband central in Winter's day. Wonder what the local PD had on that old hood. Including one of Winter's that I managed to snatch from the Cambridge Police Evidence lockup before getting swarmed by ferals. This is it. Taking up with dog meat, huh? Well, you two play nice out there.